Ah, welcome everyone. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. As you can see, there is something different this week. Yes, because it is for the simple reason that we are going to have a little Halloween special. Since Halloween isn't actually on our broadcast and we have members who can't be there on the 31st, it's going to be tonight. So, for those of you who might still be wondering what this is, because I don't know, you took the first thing that you had available because you were bored, this is about Dungeons and Dragons and a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, and especially for this special time, it's going to be about a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons during a Halloween special, which is bound to be very interesting. So, for everyone else, those of you who might be returning from previous session, welcome back. Those of you who might be new, here because one of your friends told you, oh well, this channel isn't so bad and there's nothing else better at playing on Wednesdays, so welcome among us. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And for everyone else, not included in anything that I've said, well, it's also a pleasure to have you with us. So, since this is a special episode, the recap isn't going to be as long as usual. Because yes, this is a part of the normal campaign, but also slightly apart. And for transparency's sake, I will give you the same warning that I gave to all of my players tonight. Since this is slightly different, part of the campaign, but also not, failure and death will have consequence, but not the same one as in the regular campaign. Meaning, if you die, you won't die in the campaign, but there will be consequences from that death. Consequences which will most likely hit you at a moment where you do not want it to hit you. But there will be consequences. But if there are bad consequences, it also means there are good consequences for success. There is a reward at the end of this, if you complete it and succeed it. Something that will carry over in the regular campaign. So, with that, I think we can start. So, this is slightly different than usual. Because Tykar, audience, Remy, and Fisher, you do not have the exact same memory of the previous evening as you would normally have in the campaign. Previously, what had happened was that you all got into the city of Caraveil. You decided to prepare for your next quest, meet up with the new member of the group, Tykar, a Arakokra bard, and he decided to show you what he was made of. So he made a very interesting evening of music, and maybe a little bit of story, and made a little bit of money, impressed everyone, including audience, and even tried to seduce a mysterious woman at the end of the evening. He managed to attract her attention, but not get her to follow him up to the next floor. He unfortunately had to turn to a second choice, which Aiden, the soul of Tykar, identified as a young David Bowie lookalike.
You said
for all of you out there,
masculine
that's
with
not a bad
feminine
catch.
features, so I was like, whatever.
I didn't say that was bad. A lot of people would feel very proud of this. And then audience went out for a walk. However, the evening that you remember right now is slightly different. There was a presentation, a show. Tykar did do his best to impress everyone. However, in Tykar's memory, he didn't try and seduce the woman. He went directly for his second choice, which he easily convinced to follow him to the next floor. Fisher and Raimi both remained at on the first floor of the inn, taking in a bit of the environment. Raimi thinking about this new rival of his. Fisher trying to figure out your own little things and trying to figure out how you are going to approach it once you go back up. Audience, you remain there pondering a bit about everything that happened. You do have a different memory. For some reason right now, a reason that you can't quite put your finger on. You remember talking to someone, an old friend of yours, one that you met at the very beginning of the campaign. You remember talking to Tasul earlier during the day. And you remember him giving you a warning that something smelled foul in the city. Something was out of place. But he couldn't exactly figure out what it was. And this added to your already significant burden. And so you are still in the inn, pondering about what is happening and to you and what this warning might be. You haven't seen Tasul in the inn right now. He most likely stayed outside. He is a bit more of the outdoors type. Or he simply went on and found something interesting to eat. Because Naftan are known for their sugary taste. Something that a lot of people believe that they acquired when they became a cousin race of the Dragonborn. And something they have in common with Mots. So, as the evening progresses, you start hearing odd rumors in the inn. Mostly for Fisher and audience. You start hearing about someone saying that there's an odd crystal that appeared in one of the fields near the wall of the city. Creeped a few people out. It seems to give off an odd vibe, but there didn't seem to be any problem with it. Remy, because you have such a high passive perception, you also hear something odd outside. For one moment, you think you heard a scream outside. A scream that began very loud and then suddenly became less and less and less, as if the person was running away. Then a few moments later, you heard two more, but it remains faint, at the limit of your passive perception. As for Tykar, well, you are so entranced with seducing this person that you're not paying a lot of attention to what is happening outside, and you can't hear the rumors that are spreading in the lower floor of the inn. Rainy, Fisher, audience, Tykar, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm busy with my conquest, so I'll let the people that are in their own tax bracket mingle amongst themselves.
Let the poor people settle things out.
I will turn to Remy because he seems to be a little bit off, and I'm kind of pondering, and I'll be like, "What, Remy? You seem a little bit down. Is something going on? You seem to be preoccupied."
Just like kind of like looks around a little bit and then just kind of like opens his beak as he repeats the scream that he heard, or the several screams that he heard.
Audience, I'll turn. Did you hear those outside recently?
He nods.
I'll turn to Fisher. I'll be like, well, I've been having an off feeling for a while now, and I've had a warning. We should probably go check out and make sure nobody's in trouble or someone might need help. Should we go get the bard?
Wouldn't pass off a chance to test out the new guy.
Raimi just crosses his arms.
Apart from that, Raimi, I'm sure you wouldn't like to, but could you possibly message him so we don't have to barge in on whatever he is currently busy with?
You see this just like, this is probably the first time you'd ever see Raimi do an eye roll. As he just kind of like lazily puts up one of his talons. It's like, and Takar, you hear in your head, "All right, bitch, get up."
Oh, I'm up.
Yeah, you're still up. It still hasn't gotten to the point where you have other sounds to take care of.
Well, Thykar still hasn't figured out what the fuck Raimi does to talk to him. Like, I looked in the crowd and I wondered what it was last time. But
Well,
can I roll Arcana to figure it out?
yes, of course you can, because I believe message is part of the cantrips that are accessible to.
Cantrips. Holy shit, this is a good cantrip. Well, I guess a 15 should do. Yeah.
Yeah, cantrip for a cantrip, it's you don't need something very high. So, yeah, it takes you a moment, and then well, that's what threw you off the first time. Remy doesn't look like a spellcaster, but some people have innate talents. Could be a message, and you're just one floor above, so it's the floor isn't necessarily thick enough to block the spell.
All right, I'll turn to David and just tell him, "How about you go up and keep the bed warm? I'll go downstairs and see what's up with my companions."
Oh, he looks at you for a moment, and he looks slightly distracted, but yeah. Maybe you could bring something to eat? Something good to eat? And he gives you a wink at the same time as a good to eat.
Christ. All right, I'll have some servant boy bring up some chocolate or something.
And as you leave, you do hear him just mutter under his breath, "I'm feeling so hungry. It's
I'm gonna back the fuck out and see what's up with the others.
Like, wow, that's really forward.
Yeah, like, damn. Come on. Give me some time to do some charming first, God.
All right. Well, it only takes a few moments. The room in which you are isn't necessarily 15th floor. It's, at most third floor. So it only takes you maybe 1 or 2 minutes to get down. So after a little moment, you see Tykar, who most likely joins you as you enter into an inn where there's not as many people as when you were actually performing, but there's still a lot of people. Just like that, nearly 20 people in the inn right now. Most of them are eating at some table or talking among themselves. But there is a slight eerie feeling as some are trying to keep a little bit more quiet than when a big inn like this would be like.
Damn, I leave for 10 minutes and the party dies. Well, can't blame him.
I'll look up, seeing Tykar walk in. I'll be like, so Remy seems to have thought he heard screams a bit of a ways away. I was thinking that we should go check them out, make sure nobody's in trouble.
Of course. Is everyone ready?
Let's go.
Alright, you all gather around and prepare to leave. Just as you are all grouped up, mostly together, you hear a very loud scream outside, and then suddenly someone bursts inside the inn and closes the door behind him, and he just starts screaming in panic. They're everywhere! They're everywhere! They just killed and they ate and that. Immediately everyone starts panicking a bit and wondering. He attracted the attention of everyone. He doesn't look like someone who is faking any of this. He is thoroughly panicked. You do see a little bit of blood on one of his shoulder, and he is stuttering this on over and over and over.
Audience, seeing the room start to panic, will quickly jump up on a table and in his best military commander voice go, "Everybody calm down. Panic will do nothing. Please explain."
Make a
I said pointing again.
Make a persuasion roll. Yeah.
That is an unnatural 20.
Oh. Well, you manage to do this in a very commanding way, and everyone just quiets down, and even the person who just entered, who is blocking the door with his body, just looks around, and he noticed that everyone is looking around. Everyone stopped talking. Most people even got away from their table. There are even a few people who were in the back store who got out, and everyone is gathering around that person who just came in. And also, all of you, Remy, Fisher, audience, and Tykar, who are, I placed you at a table near the entrance because it's the only one that was free, and because it was close enough to the stage where Tykar performed. It's just like in those stories that the bards they tell us near equinox and the solstice, and people coming out, running after others, attacking, just killing them. They just ate our neighbor. He was screaming, trying to defend his family, but they just all bunched up, and there was blood everywhere. barely manage to get away. They seem to be coming from everywhere, from outside the walls. I don't know why the doors aren't closed, but they're just pouring in.
Can I go to the window and look out?
There are several windows. There's a huge bay window. Well,
Whatever's closest to the wall, like the door he came from. Whatever would be looking in that direction.
okay. I will transit a little map that I made for this.
Ye old map.
I tried to use colors this time that would not be confusing. And for those of you who are with for the group, I also have the same thing that I can send to you through our Discord.
You switched the map, by the way, on the stream. We're outside now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, phew. Oh, wow. So it's... No. Why isn't it? No, I didn't. It just stopped. Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. My mistake. I didn't send the right one. This one here and this one here. There you go. Because I have to make a copy of it. If I remove it from the folder, it disappears. Alright. So, and everyone is in the room. Audience, I placed you on the table that you were previously, because you said you went up on a table. There are several windows. Of course, there is one just next to the table at B2. There is one window there. There is one window between the two NPCs, so at F1. There's a huge bay window at, well, no letter 9, 8, and 7. And there's also one at A4 looking outside, and one at K1 looking outside.
Where's the door that the NPC just came in from?
He's just in front of the door. Sorry. No.
Is he the one on F1?
It's
Or-
D1 and E1 where the door is.
Oh, okay. Okay. You said there's a window on K1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go peek out that one.
Okay. So you make your way to one of the windows, and of course, a lot of people just go toward the windows, copying what you're doing. And as you look outside, for a moment, you don't see anything, but make a perception roll.
Ooh, start no. 18.
18.
20 with Terranet.
All right. It does take a moment. You look outside, and for a moment, you don't see anything strange. But after a moment, you do hear Terranad say, I saw something. Right in front, in the alley over there. There's movement. Not the normal kind of movement. They're all bunched up on someone on the ground. It takes you a moment to see it, but once he points out which alley, you sort of manage to focus there. And it does look like there are maybe 3 or 4 peasants leaning over a peasant on the ground. And you start hearing the screams outside. not directly from in front, but you hear one coming from what would be to the left of the inn. Then you start hearing another one to the north, so at the back of the inn. And then you see someone running, and you see a group of people chasing him, shambling, moving slowly, pulling their weight, barely.
Do these look like zombies?
With a 20 perception, yes. It's dark outside, so it's a bit harder to really get a good feel of details like this, but it does fit the description that you've read. And yeah, it's starting to feel like one of those bard tales.
Are there like shutters on this window?
Wind shutters, not siege shutters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like something to block view.
Yeah.
At the very least. All right. I'll close those and then kind of quietly get away from the windows.
Make a persuasion roll.
It's zombies. Let's go. Where did... that is... Oh, same number again, but this time it's a 16.
16. It's good enough. You managed to do this with enough of a commanding voice to make sure that everyone just looks at you for a moment and then look outside, and everyone starts shutting the windows. The huge bay window is a lot harder to shut, but you do notice that two persons are just going to the table and turning it on its side and slowly trying to roll it toward the window.
Alright.
However, you do notice that doing that makes a lot of noise. There were things on the table. There were goblets, plates. There are the chairs that are being overturned. And of course, they don't completely lift the table off the ground. So you hear...
Innkeeper, do you have a basement?
Yeah.
Wine cellar?
Yeah. There's a place where we can go, yeah, sure. There, no problem. You just have to come behind the bar. It's the door is just there. He turns around and he opens it, and you see a few people reacting to this, starting to move toward the back, being a bit scared. But the moment he opens the door, you see him freeze in front of the door, and all you have time to hear is, "What the?" And you see two huge furry legs reach out, coil around him, and pulling him aside. And you hear loud scream coming from below.
Looks like the basement is not the play.
Yeah, we'll run over there. And I guess, yeah, shut the door and put
the
my
door
back
is
against
still
it.
open right now. Everyone got scared and they slightly moved away.
I will go help Fisher try and shut the door as quickly as possible. I will jump off the table.
Slightly scared. Only a little bit.
Okay.
If there's a mug being left unattended, I'll finish what's in it.
There are plenty of mugs left unattended. There's even plates. Half-chewed
I'm not
food
hungry.
and...
I'm saving
Roll
my
for
appetite
COVID.
for later.
Alright, from the distance, I'd say... Well, Audience and Fisher, make a dexterity roll just to see which one of you gets to the door first.
11.
I'm actually rolling good tonight.
That's a
16.
bad omen.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be trash as soon as we start combat.
16, all right. You get there just a little bit before audience. So you find yourself in front of the door, just reaching for the handle of the door and slowly starting to close it. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, there we go. 8.
8. All right.
So
Well,
begins.
Luckily, I'm maybe near enough to grab you.
yeah, you're basically half a second behind him. So, well, in that case, yeah, that's a good point. Audience, I would allow you to make a dexterity roll because Fisher, the moment that you grab the door, you notice right in front of you 8 pair of eyes watching you.
Fuck. That's too many.
It's very large. And this is where the image becomes more precise. You are looking straight at a giant spider.
Alright.
And it
How the fuck
reaches
did you not
out.
notice that was living down there?
It reaches out. You, audience, you see the paws of this spider coming out, trying to reach audience, and not audience, Fisher. Sorry, audience. You roll to see if you can snag Fisher out.
Oh, yes. I'll yell, "Let him go, you filth." I wonder if anyone gets that reference. And,
Nice.
yeah, roll a 4.
Yeah.
I think the spider got you. That was not quick enough.
Damn, I was sure that you would be able to get it because I rolled a 6.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh,
even
no,
more.
wait, plus, wait, I actually,
You rolled a 4, but
yes, but would you say dex?
Yes.
Oh, wait, I have +4 to dex. Okay, I'm actually okay. I'm a 7. Yeah, because my armor gives +1 to dex.
So yeah, you have a +3 to dex. So yeah, so at first it feels like you're gonna miss him and the spider is gonna be able to grab him, but right at the last moment you manage to grab his cloak. Or are you wearing a cloak? Anyway, he grabs something you're wearing on your near your neck and just pulls you. And Fisher, you see these giant paw come almost right in front of you, almost touching you. You can see the little furry tip of the legs just go right in front of your face. And just as he pulls, because you're already holding the door closes and you know there's a big spider behind it.
yeah,
I'll yell,
Spider-
someone grab me. I'll yell, someone grab me something to bar this door.
Did I see this?
Well, you didn't see what's inside, but well, actually, from the point
spider,
of view that you
big
have,
spider.
you did see the paws coming out twice. So I'd say you could make a nature check to see if it does strike. I'm gonna take the hood off because it keeps sliding because of my.
I was just gonna like go for a reaction after seeing that, which would have been me just like blasting whatever I was drinking out of my nostrils in surprise. But if I can roll a nature check to see if I can actually know what the hell I'm looking at.
Yeah, sure.
12.
12. Well, you've never seen something that big, but there is this little voice in your head that says, the spiders aren't supposed to be that big.
Oh, merde. Okay. Hand crossbow is drawn, and I'm making my way towards them.
Remy, of course you saw these reaching out, and you're a bit more used to underground and also poaching. So there is a chance. Let's make a nature roll, and because of you have an extensive background in poaching, I'm gonna let you go with advantage.
Let's see. It'd be hard to beat. Okay, so that will be a 16.
16. You had a slightly better angle of view, so with that, I'd say yeah, your reaction is similar to that of Tykar, but then again, he said, "Oh, not again."
Yeah, just like oh, if only had if only feathers could turn pale. It's just like at this point, it's also like Remy has like pulled out his own dagger. It's just like there's just like thinking like fuck zombies, fuck spiders.
Well, that's not gonna work. Upstairs, maybe. I'm staring at all the regular people still in here.
A lot of them seems almost in shock, panic. Most of them are just moving and they're just all looking at one another. You see two of them just backing off toward the bay window where the table was, and they are just bracing the table because they're scared something's gonna come in there through there. People do follow this, and you see a few people go toward the windows and do their best to try and tie the shutters down.
Mhm.
I'm going to turn to Tykar and say, would it be possible for you to, if you'd have to be willing, but would it be possible for you to perhaps fly out and scout out the situation, see maybe if it would be best to stay here, or perhaps go for an escape route, maybe leave the city entirely, see what we're looking at?
Of course. Of course. I will do that right away. Yes. I will exit by a higher floor, though I'm not leaving through one of these windows or the door.
I assumed. Do you want to head back to your room?
Yes.
Group
That
there.
would be preferable. There's probably a balcony in my room since I have like the royal
Most
mega
likely.
wallet suite. All right.
I'll
I'm
say
gonna head-
you guys follow Tykar up there. I'm gonna stay here and try and make sure these people don't panic and do something stupid, or also in case to warn you in case something tries to break in.
All right, so audience, you stay down, and Fisher and Ramy, you ask Fisher and Ramy to follow Tykar, and levels up.
Yeah.
And then like Rainy would sort of like just like put up one of his talons.
Make it quick, Ramy. What's happening?
He just like a points to his mouth and then points to his finger and then points to Tykar and Fisher.
Okay.
It's not helpful.
Does your friend always play charades at bad times like this, or?
He can't speak on his own. It's
Oh,
very inconvenient,
okay,
but we
that's
do our best.
that's not pratic.
Although we should take some of these people up with us upstairs if we're going. Better to shelter up there than down here.
Fair enough.
Immediately, as you say that, you see four people practically shoving themselves up the stairs, just passing by Tykar, who is starting to go up the stairs.
Okay, everyone going up to my room. If you scuff up anything, you're paying, huh? I swear to God. Like, come on.
Which
Maybe he's
god?
just pinching the bridge of his beak.
All right, Tykar, you go up and you start. Are you going? Casually going to your room, or are you running toward the balcony of your?
Since a bunch of commoners are about to run into my room, I'm gonna go up a bit faster.
All right. So you hurry up, and you see maybe 4 or 5 person chasing right behind you. They're all trying to get there as fast as they can, and they all have this panic look on their face. 1 floor, 2 floor, you do notice people in the corridors looking out, and you hear some of them just saying, "What happened? We heard yelling. What's going on?" Do you answer them, or do you just keep going?
I just keep going.
All right. So you keep going and get to the last floor. You open the door. You get in. You notice that there's your future conquest who is in your bedroom. He's looking outside toward from one of the windows, and he's just looking out as if looking in the street.
Did you see something?
You just hear
Are you okay? I look for the bottle of wine to see if it's like empty or some shit.
bottle of wine hasn't been touched.
Good. I pocket it.
However, you
Priorities.
Priorities.
It's a 10. It's a
Yeah.
10 GP bottle. Of course, I'm taking it with me.
Understandable.
all right. So as you take the bottle on the table, of course you get pushed in by 3 other peasants who just barge in your room, and you look at the plate. There were things brought up, but it's been eaten messily. There's even bits of food that has fallen on the floor.
Okay, is this how you treat someone who gives you a night of luxury? Really? And I start getting closer, a bit annoyed.
Crumbs in the
They've
bed.
thrashed my room. Oh my fuck! They're out of the. They're going over the balcony.
Whee! Bye! Sorry, it's zombie apocalypse. You messed up my room.
They opened a Nature Valley bar in my bed. Oh no!
So you get closer, and he still doesn't react a lot to you. But there are those 2 or 3 people that are just in the room looking everywhere, and you see one who is also coming toward you, going toward the bay window. And just as he passes you, you see your conquest turn around and throw himself on the person that just passed you. And this is when you realize he reaches for their throat and
Can I-
bites deep.
Ooh.
I. No way to. Damn. Okay. Well, that's a damn shame. I'm gonna. Well, I'm gonna try to pry him off. Like, first instinct shouldn't be murder. So I'm just trying to throw the biter off. Like, come on. It's like in every zombie movie. You're just super soft at the beginning, and then you realize, oh shit, this doesn't work, and then it's thunderclap every time you can.
Thunderclap every time.
I will put one of you down like a stray dog.
All right. Well, your future conquest, if he can still be, is holding on to the person. It's going to be a contested strength check.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Is
they'd
it-
still be a conquest just for a different reason.
Is it athletics versus athletics, or just straight strength?
Athletics if you have athletics, strength if you don't.
Well, I have everything, so let's go. That's gonna be a 7. Rest in peace.
Yeah, you don't actually manage to get that creature off of the off of your friend who is starting to eat, well, trying to eat because he rolled minimum damage, trying to eat the throat of the peasant who is on the ground screaming, and immediately you see the two other people who are in the room panic. One of them just backs off and stumble on some piece of furniture that he didn't see. The other one just runs out the door. And the third one is screaming on the floor.
That's not ideal. If no one else is here with me, I'll just go ahead and put
Well-
a bolt in his head.
You did decide to go as fast as you could, so this means that Raimi and Fisher are probably just a few seconds behind you. So just
Right.
as you reach the last floor, you see someone run out the door and you hear someone screaming like they're being pulled apart by some creature at the end of the room. You know, at the end of the hall, you know, where there's the big door.
Fuck. Or, yeah, run up to the door.
All right.
First in.
Wipe your boots.
Nope.
Tykar, what do you do? The creature is not letting up. He is again attacking the poor person on the ground who is being pulled apart.
All right, well, I have crossbow expert, so I'm gonna just stand right behind him and put a bolt in the back of his head.
All right, roll for a very small initiative. See who gets first. You firing or the zombie eating the neck of the person on the floor?
19.
You go first.
All right, crossbow. Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
That's gonna be 7 piercing damage.
Okay. The crossbow bolt enters the body of the creature. It does not go down yet.
Okay. We are a big problem right now. I don't have any bonus action spells. Well, shit. That's it. That's all I can do.
All right.
Yeah, crossbow expert.
Bonus
I
action
do-
crossbow shot.
Oh, right. Well,
It's a
Alright.
hand crossbow, isn't it?
it is. I thought I could only prox it if I meleeed. Then I could do a.
No,
bonus.
it only says a one-handed weapon.
Oh shit! Well, let's go. Just speed reload and crank another one in the back of his head.
All right, go ahead.
Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
Oh shit!
It's a
Yeah.
zombie.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
there's zombies.
max damage. That's gonna be a whole ass 10.
All right. The crossbow bolt does manage to hit almost right to the spine, and you do see the zombie just react to it, but it doesn't let go. It is. You feel that it should be dead. You know, if it was a normal human, he'd probably be dead. And from the wound, from the way that he just keeps on moving, and there's sort of a twitch every time he tries to move, that it does feel like he's been severely injured.
I'm gonna yell out, "Someone get this beast off of them!"
All right, then
Have
in
I
that
crashed
case,
through the door at this point?
exactly, Remy and Fisher, you enter the room just as you see that creature pull off with part of the neck of the poor peasant still in his mouth, just looking at you with blood pouring out his jaw, and the person on the floor just holding out the huge gash in his neck. You could roll for initiative to see if you go before Tykar.
No.
What did you roll?
That's That's a 1.
Okay, you are shocked by what you see.
Plus 0 is still 1.
Your subconscious told me you actually stopped to wipe your boots.
I kicked down the door so hard that I tripped on it coming in the door.
Remy, what did you roll?
He rolled only a 17.
17. Well, you're before the zombie and Fisher. But you're not before Tykar.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my arming sword and try to stab this bastard.
Go ahead. The room isn't
Ooh, let's go.
50 feet wide, so you have more than enough movement to just attack him.
Off. Well, really? Oh, wait, that's 1 damage. So, hang on, they roll twice. D8 plus... What? How did... 1d8 plus 3 equals 2. Excuse me?
Correct.
Hang on now. D&D Beyond's on some bullshit. I rolled a crit. Hang on. 1d8 plus 3, and then it says 2. Piercing damage 5. So, I guess I did 10.
Because what is doubled is only what you can roll.
Okay.
So you rolled the 1 on the damage, is that it?
That I can't have less than 4 damage with this arming sword because it's a 1d8 plus 3.
I know,
So
but
it's a minimum.
you said that it was the D&D Beyond said 5 in total because of the critical hit.
Yep.
That's all right. You rolled a 1, doubled, so 2 plus 3 damage because of your dexterity,
Okay.
5.
Okay, makes sense. And bonus action, crossbow, slash and ka-chunk.
Hold on. Your first blow cleaves him right in the skull.
Yes.
And,
Does death mean I have to stop?
no, it doesn't. It just means that you can add flair to this. Your first blow managed to cleave the skull almost clean in two. You feel the zombie go limp, but you still get to fire another bolt if you want to. You know?
I will.
So you're firing your bolt in the corpse of a living corpse.
Yep. That's going to be another 12 for 9 damage.
Well, he is dead.
Yep. Just making sure.
Double tap, always good.
I yell in frustration, "You gorgeous bastard, what the fuck?"
All right. Just as you say this, you do see the person right behind him starting to he's starting to twitch and convulse.
Do I need to do an intelligence roll to see whether or not I shoot him in the head before he gets up?
Well,
I'm not super smart.
yeah, and it's also not extremely common in D&D that the infection spreads like this. It's usually something magical. But it's also D&D. There could be exterior influences. I'd say, yeah, you could roll for intelligence.
Okay, let's see if I realize why this is happening.
If you make
Please
the difference between, oh, he's having a seizure, or, oh, he's turning undead.
Well, that's a nat 1 minus 1, so...
You think he's having a seizure.
Oh no,
Give him
I need
CPR.
Go ahead,
For
right
a
now.
seizure?
I mean, with a 0 intelligence, yes.
True.
I've had
Fair enough.
I've had an epileptic girlfriend before. You do not put your head near someone convulsing. You're just gonna get your nose broken.
Yeah, but Tykar isn't.
All right, I'll start chest compressions on him.
Oh, no.
Well, you're not a priest. You you don't have to if you don't want to.
True. What do I give a? Well, I mean,
Why
I
do
guess I'll
I?
try. I'll put rags on his like where it's bleeding, so it doesn't get all over the place.
I was gonna say it all depends. Are you fundamentally good or fundamentally fuck you, man? I'm going away. If you are at the base good, yeah, you'd probably at least try to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I think at my base I'm very ambiguous between neutral and good. So I'm just gonna press down on his neck with the rags.
All right, Ramy and Fisher, it is your turn, and you do see this person who seems to be extremely grievously wounded. The blood is just pouring out, and it's pooling on the ground. And you do see that he seems to be having a convulsions.
Now, can Remy and Fisher make intelligence rolls based
Yes,
on
you
this
can.
situation?
Please help. I don't want to die.
Yeah. Just straight intelligence.
I. Oh, that's interesting. I would allow to make Arcana or Religion.
Arcana makes it 14.
Okay.
Oh, with Arcana, then that gives me a 19.
Then both of you know that usually this doesn't spread like this, but there's something odd happening in the entire city right now. You know, usually it doesn't spread in 10 minutes. Something could be happening. He might be coming back in a few moments.
Yeah, so Remy is using his initiative. It's just like deep breath, dashes over, and he is actually going to like make a strike at this poor person's head just to end their misery.
Is he restrained since I'm pressing down on his neck?
I mean, they're already prone anyway, so I get advantage on the roll.
And you have
He's
sneak
definitely
attack.
not that one.
And you have sneak attack because it's
Yeah, that
advantage.
too.
Just surprise Kenku just curb stomping this guy.
All right, that'll be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So that'll be 13 damage on them.
Well, definitely. You just arrive, and I feel like since you're so used to poaching, there's probably a moment where you look at the person, and there's this voice that just come out. There. It's for your own good. Your dagger easily enters his. Where are you trying to? How are you planning? How do you want to kill this poor peasant who is bleeding out from his neck?
Yeah, he just went straight for the brain, just like just end all thought if there is any left.
So with this motherly embrace, now they're there. The dagger just entered the skull, and you see the person just stop twitching and doesn't seem to be reacting right now. Taikar, you just noticed Remy kill the person you're trying to save.
I just reel back, hands on my head, like, holy shit.
Fisher, you just entered this room. You were shocked by the blood and the person eating one another, and then you see Remy just going to the wounded person and mercy killing them? At least you hope?
Oh, fuck. How'd he get all the way up here? I thought they were all out on the street.
I guess this one looked at me with a bit more voracious lust than most do.
That means we have to
Fisher, for
clear
the
the
second
rest of
time
the
tonight,
inn.
you've seen Raimi do an eye roll.
Excuse me? Looking at Fisher as I say that, like, you want to clear out the rest of the inn? What? In what way?
Well, if he started going for people, that means there could be other people already in here.
Yeah. And my morality was put into question. This guy's just like, hey, there's a risk. Fucking kill every peasant in this tavern.
That's misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Let's train to Busan this bitch and
We
just
have
kill
to
everyone.
clear out the inn of zombies so that
Okay.
it is safe for the regular people that are still alive in here.
If only we had someone who could make the undead turn away for and make them easier to detect.
Audience, in your head, you hear a gruff voice. It's like, "Damn, the bitch gave you a hickey."
What?
I got it.
The expression is so much better because we can't see your face, it's just like your exasperated voice.
Audience, I don't even know what's going on with audience right now.
No,
He's
from
down.
on your end at the bottom level of this, you do feel like the door where there's a huge spider is sort of being banged on. You do hear from time to time.
Oh, I would have mentioned I would have taken like chairs and barricaded.
Oh, yeah, no.
barricaded it while I was there. Okay.
They did have time to go all the way up. You probably rolled down one of the. There are a bunch of barrels in the back store. There are tables. You can probably just pile it on there. But it seems to be trying to get in. And just as you finish and you see this door, the door just being pounced on, you start hearing the same thing on the front door of the inn.
All right, I'll turn to the people and be like, any barricades we can find, put it on the front door. Any tables, chairs. Leave rooms though for weapons to be stabbed through. Let's set up a defense, and I'll start like basically organizing my now troops as I perceive them into creating a good defense on the lower level.
You are organizing the war. All right. So slowly they're taking all of the. All right. Remy is up. Tykar is up, and Fisher is up. The audience. There and there. All right. So everyone starts piling on toward the doors and the windows and start rolling tables, and as they're working, you do hear more and more of this from coming from outside and coming from the windows and the door in the front. You hear people shoving things in the back stores. The huge bay window, you hear it shatter, but fortunately there is a few tables all piled up right in front of it. Unfortunately, the tables in my map aren't movable. You have to make decisions at one point. That is a good point. If any of you makes donation, I might actually start building map and adding a camera on top of it, so I could actually build a map. I would love to build maps. Shameless promotion over. So everyone piles in, and you do hear this rambling, and you hear more and more screaming outside. You do, however, hear also sounds of battles, swords clashing. You do know that zombies don't have swords. So there is definitely something fighting out there, but something with weapons fighting back also.
Okay. Well, audience wants to be out there, but he has to make sure these people are secure and safe. So.
All right. Well, let's see. Because it's warring a tactic, I will allow you to make a. Hold on, let's load. Because it's war tactic, I will allow you to make intelligence with proficiency.
Okay. That'll change it to a +1.
Well, it's better than the -1.
Yeah. But it's still audience rolling intelligence, so it'll still only be a 7.
So you feel confident, but you're looking at the people trying to hold down the windows and the door, and you feel this frustration because you have nothing that is extremely heavy to block those entry points. It feels like it's only a matter of time before they manage to enter.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I sent a scout. And I'm hoping he's scouting, but I don't have info. So.
All right, so for Remy, Fisher, and Tykar, you are on the last floor. What do you do right now?
Well,
Tiger, you should go. Fly around, see what's out there. We need to know if it's better to sit here and keep it safe, or possibly leave.
yep, the sooner I can get you people out of my room, the better. And I'll leap off the balcony and start flying around.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back inside and start going like door to door.
Okay. In that case, Fisher, make an investigation roll.
That is, investigation.
Yeah, because
7.
you're going door to door. So basically, you're doing the perfect movie horror mistake. You're not actually entering the door. You're just arriving at the door and knocking on the door. Anyone there? You need to get out. And then you just go to the next door.
If it's open, I'm pushing it open. If
Yeah.
there's a zombie in there, I'm gonna do something. Otherwise, I'm moving on. But I rolled a 2, so that's a total of 7.
All right. All right. So you go from door to door and you try and find things. Remy, are you doing the same thing?
But Raimi is going to. Well, he's at least going to try, but he is going to summon,
Okay.
and he's going to communicate, watch dragon.
Okay. So he goes downstairs?
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
he wants to make sure that he knows exactly what's going on downstairs while he's like helping to organize this shit with Fisher, and he's probably going to follow Fisher's lead.
Okay. Well, in that case, Fisher, you suddenly get advantage on the investigation roll.
Hey, yeah, a little better. 23.
Well, that's more than a little.
So as
A 2 and then an 18.
you're just maybe 1 minute behind, and you do see your cat just moving off, going down the stairs, and you run out toward Fisher to catch him up, and you surprise him in this moment of knocking on the door. Anybody in? You need to get out. And he just moves to the next door. And you sort of have this moment, what? Fortunately, as you get to him, you show him how to do this in a better way. And since Fisher, you're not that stupid, for a moment you just sort of go to this. Of course. Why? I mean, isn't this how bards always make sure that there is a zombie that you forgot somewhere?
In fact, Ravi kind of even like speeds up the process a bit because he's also using his mage hand to just sort of like help in this process.
And when there's a door locked, he actually unlocks it. Nobody's in. All right. All right. So you do manage to go from door to door, and there is one room where you enter, and you are faced with this gruesome sight of blood everywhere. A person, well, you assume it was a person at one point, and two zombies just looking up at you as you enter this room, and slowly starting to make their way toward you.
Is there like a window, like a big window in the room? Big-ish.
Yeah, it's a corner room, so yeah, you have a window to the outside. A normal-sized window.
How high is that window?
Yeah.
Right now you're on the equivalent of a third floor.
Right.
Okay, and
I'll go.
are they
I got the
directly
one on
in
the
line of
right.
sight between where Raimi is on the window?
Is there what? Sorry. I didn't
Sorry, is there a
understand.
direct line between where Raimi is, the window, and one of the zombies?
Maybe. Are you when you enter the room, who is on the right and who is on the left?
I'm on the right.
All right, which means Remy, you're on the left. Yes, you have a clear line of sight toward the window. You do not have to cross Fisher's path, and the zombies are making their way. So you only have to wait maybe 2 seconds, and they will be perfectly aligned.
Yeah, Raimi is going to pull out his decanter, and he's going to uncork the lid, and Fisher, you hear in Bounty's voice, Geyser?
You see him
I
take
need to
this.
make strength saves.
You see him take this. Oh wow. Okay. I believe that the geyser also does damage.
It also does damage, yes.
Roll for the damage, please.
That'll be 3 bludgeoning.
Okay. So you look toward him, and what is the DC of the decanter?
It's a DC 13
13. All right.
strength save.
So he takes out the decanter, removes the lid, yells geyser. You see this burst of water come out of it. A lot more water than what logic dictates should be in there. It splashes on the zombie. Unfortunately, he rolled a 19 on the dice. So he has a 20 on his save.
That's a really resilient one.
However, you look at this and you do notice that there are bits and chunk of flesh which the geyser managed to strip off. And the room is filled with water just dripping everywhere. The window has been breached because it didn't manage to succeed at saving throw.
Is the geyser still going, right?
It keeps going throughout the round, and Remy can decide to let it go round after round after round.
Hey. Kind of trying to I'm gonna try and assist with Raimi's idea because I had a similar one, just not nearly as cool. Magic item use wise. Can I just run up and to the one that saved? I just want to take out my great axe and just like smack him in the chest.
Yeah, make an attack
Try
roll.
and like knock him off balance so the geyser takes him out the window.
Well, you can make a shove attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. In that case, you can make a shove attempt.
That's athletics check, right?
Exactly. Contested.
That's another 18, so 24.
You succeed. You manage to overtake him, and your blow managed to push him off balance. And I can easily say that mixed with this geyser of water just pouring out an insane amount of liquid, you just see the zombie just go. And as soon as you get to him, it just disappear out the window. You look at yourself. Wow, you've never been this strong before.
Is that both of them?
How wide is the geyser?
Unfortunately, it's only 1 feet wide, 1 foot wide.
Then in that case, no. It's like pressurized water. That's why there were just bits and pieces of flesh that got stripped off. The second one is still up and he's still shambling toward you, and he's going to try and attack you, Fisher.
Okay.
With a 7.
No.
He reaches out to you and he tries to get close and just bite and slam you, but unfortunately you manage to brush him off. Well, fortunately for you, but fortunately for him. Oh, we can just make a dexterity check, see who goes first with the three of you. The zombie, Raimi, or you, Fisher?
I. 10.
That's a 21.
Well, in that case, 21's gonna go first. So, what do? There is one zombie trying to eat Fisher.
All right.
Why?
Well then.
That's a zombie. They're not that smart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess as an action, just in case he can maybe like potentially one-shot kill this one, he is going to throw his dagger at this one.
Okay. It is engaged with Fisher.
All right. That'll be another 17 to hit.
Does hit.
Okay. That'll be 14 piercing.
All right. You hit him. It is your dagger just enters his body, but unfortunately you struck just a little too low under the neck, and it feels like you probably went through the heart. Then you sort of realize, damn it, they don't need their heart. It is severely damaged, but not dead.
Oh, and he's just going to use his bonus action to, and you'll hear those words again, geyser.
So it is a bonus action to use the the canter?
Yeah, it's an action to unstopper it, but it's a bonus action to
Keep
to
it
use
going.
this specific effect.
Okay. Go ahead then. And you can also
Alright,
roll for the damage.
All right, so that'll be 2 bludgeoning damage.
Alright, well, it doesn't die from this. However, it does lose its balance, and you just see him fall to the floor and slowly moving away with the pressure of the water on him. He's just sliding off slowly, and you see bits and pieces of blood and gore just spreading on the floor.
It's like, and he'll just shout to Fisher, "Get him while he's down!"
I will.
You have the initiative on the poor zombie.
Yeah, I'll stride over and just funk and try and decapitate it.
Go ahead.
That is 16.
Does hit.
4. 11 damage. Slashing.
Damage. It had to roll the 16 to survive this. It rolled a 15. You managed to decapitate it. So in a single swing, you see the head just go. Wow. It's easier than with humans.
Then I'm gonna look over to the. You said they were both eating a person.
What you assume was a person. It's a bit hard to tell because he's been butchered, but it most likely was humanoid at one point.
Is it twitching?
No, it's been eaten to a point where it's most likely not gonna get up.
Okay.
There are limbs missing, the head has been detached.
Okay, it's in worse shape than the one I just killed, basically.
Yeah, but fortunately with Remy help, the floor is pretty washed.
Raimi lets out a whistle as the good boy returns to him.
The dagger comes back to your hand. Right at this moment, Remy, you are on... You have news from your cat reaching the ground floor. And audience? Well, you are on high alert, so I'd say make a perception roll for me, please.
How about a 1?
You do not see the cat coming. You do not see the cat coming at the ground floor. You are very busy trying to make sure that the peasants manage to hold the horde. But Remy, as your familiar reaches the ground floor, it does send back a feeling of, oh, we're gonna be in trouble.
Like, Raimi, wide-eye, quickly runs over to Fisher and just kind of tugs at his armor.
What?
And he's going to point down.
All right, lead the way. Let's go. Also, you should probably, if he's not too far away by now, call Thykar back. You should.
Well, Tykar is currently outside, and Tykar, you're flying, and for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, not at most, you do manage to go around, look at everything, and the city is being invaded by zombies and skeletons. They are roaming the streets, butchering people. You also see what looks like large knights. They have one sword, and you see one as you fly by one street. He just takes out his sword, points in front of him, and suddenly you see ghoulish energy come out, reach out toward the people, the poor peasants in the streets around him, and you see the ghoulish energy draw back inside the sword. You hear them scream, and they start walking funny. And he just slowly moves toward another street. He looks fully armored, like a knight, like a paladin that went horribly wrong.
Nice. I'm gonna make my way back to the balcony.
As you are making your way back to the balcony, you do notice. Well, make a perception roll for me, please.
19.
19. At the corner of your eye, you notice this humanoid looking creature. It's large, like a dragonborn, but this one has wings. You do know them. You've met them before. They're the Naftan. They're one of the unique race of the Shattered Continent. You notice that he is flying around, and one of the things that pops out in your mind, that's a good thing. Naftan are roughly the same height as Dragonborn. Many people think that they are an offshoot of the Dragonborn, a cousin race that was stuck in a plane, which eventually altered their physical shape, sort of pushed them midway between a Dragonborn and a Moth. They have a passionate hatred of undead. And as part of who they are, they cannot be turned into an undead. You just see one going, and he's flying, which means he has experience in combat, because you know that Naftan are not born with their wing. It is a question of status, of experience. In technical term, he is not level 1. They gain their wings at a certain level.
Alright. Yeah, I'll perch myself back on the balcony and whoever's there is there, I guess.
Well, there's one peasant there, and just as you're about to enter, you turn around and you look at the sky, and with your 19, you see a huge shadow fly by above the city. It's just for a moment, but it is large, and it just go.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna ask a peasant where my friends went.
One peasant stayed in your room. The one who tumbled on furniture, he's just there, and he's panicked in the corner of the room, just looking at all the blood on the floor and at you, who just got back in, and he's really in shock and completely panicked.
Hey, calm down, okay? You're safe, but I need to know where my friends are. Where did they go?
Make a persuasion roll. See if you manage to calm him down.
15.
Yeah, not completely, but he looks at you and they left me here alone. They went out the room.
Okay, well, you're safe for now, so stay here, okay? Don't touch anything. We'll be back. And I'll proceed to look for the others.
Okay.
In what state is the room?
Pretty much the same as when it left. When you left,
Right.
A lot of people were just scared and they just left. There's a lot more blood, but that's normal. You know, there's one corpse, two corpse who just bled out on the floor. So
Ramy Fisher cleaning crew hasn't been through here yet.
no, but you do notice when you get inside the corridor, there's a lot of water outside of one room. But you all make your way down to the first floor. And audience, you are there on the first floor. And you are hearing this pounding on the doors. And one person where there's the bay window loses his footing and he falls backward. Part of the barricade is going to give away. give way very soon. There seem to be a lot outside.
I'll turn to them as they come in. I'll be like, any news from our scout? I don't think this door is going to hold too much longer.
Is Thykar with us yet, or is he still...
You went down before he came back, but it wasn't supposed to be a very long reconnaissance. You were running around in corridors, so he's most likely just a few seconds behind, maybe 10 or 15 seconds behind. You can hear clawed feet running on the floor above.
He should be right behind us. There were some more upstairs that we had to deal with.
I'll look confused. Oh, how did they get in? Actually, should I roll an intelligence?
You can.
Yeah, that's going to be a 1. I will continue with what I said. How did they get in?
They started in here. I guess.
Facade. I'll look around suspiciously at the room, wondering if there are any more.
Actually, to save
why are these
time,
people still down here? Shout out to all the commoners in here. Can any of you fight?
Most of them look at you with wide eyes. We're not soldiers, you hear coming from one corner. We're just here to listen to the music of the colored bird. Tykar, you come down just as someone says colored bird.
Yes, the champion has returned.
Yeah. When Raimi and I were up there, did we clear out a floor? Or did we just do like a couple of rooms and then...
No, the third floor has been thoroughly examined. The second floor... Well, no, I'd say because of what happened with the dice, the second floor has been thoroughly examined. The third floor...
I just kind of ran through. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody you can't fight, find somewhere to take shelter on the second floor. It should be safer up there. You'll just get in the way down here.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll.
It's gonna be like a 2. No. 9.
You do have a few person who looks at you, slightly baffled. And just to make sure that your ego just takes a little bit more of a hit, most of them turn to audience.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Audience will turn to the bird before he gives any orders. What's the news?
Well, the city is positively overrun by these creatures. There are zombies, there are skeletons, and big fuck-off knights in armors and swords. They look like you, but without a soul and more black.
Let's see.
But there is this one, what's the name of the dragon born with wings again?
The Naftan.
There is one very big Naftan also flying over the city. He was just flying around last I checked, but still.
Audience, your memory in this little realm does recall meeting Tisul during the day.
I'll nod. I'll be like, very well. Well, I do not think we can stay here. I think crowds. I think our best plan is to probably try and get out of the city. As it seems that is the city itself being attacked. Smaller groups have a lot better chance to survive than larger ones. I'll turn to the people around them. I'll be like, I'm going to be honest. I do not think we have many good options, but I do not believe staying here is the correct one. I think that your best bet for survival is probably to find a couple others that you trust try and stay low, find a way out of the inn, and try and make it out of the city. I'll be honest, it is not a high chance that you will survive, but fighting will do nothing. We must try and leave.
You see them all look very scared, unsure of what to do. But your command just overrides what Fisher said, unless you want to roll a natural 1 for me.
No, I don't. I rolled 12.
All right. Well, your command, and because they've started to trust you just a little bit more than Fisher, who just arrived and said everyone go hide in the inn, while you're saying I don't think you're gonna survive if you hide in the inn. So everyone looks around and they start pairing up, and everyone just falls into group. There's this lone peasant who's there, and just nobody. Come on, you know me. You know, we celebrated my daughter's birthday just a week ago. You know me. But nobody wants to go out with him.
I'll turn. I would ignore that for now. That's not. They're gonna have to figure this out. Now I'm gonna turn to, back to our Thykar, and I'm gonna say, Thykar, do you think if we could find a way out of the end, you could fly above us and try and tell us the easiest route to get out of the city, where we'll run into the least enemies?
That's a plan, but like I said, the streets are filled with these creatures. It will be very hard, and likely it will be impossible to avoid confrontation.
I understand, but staying here, I'll say looking again at the weakening door is a death sentence. If you, as you say, and there's an army, I do not think making any kind of stand, as I doubt we have any help arriving. Besides, perhaps to Sewell.
Raby is going to shout out, is there a hole for the rats to wander?
It's a pretty good idea.
Sure.
Do I remember any sewer entrances around here? On our way to the inn?
Damn. That's some recollection.
Make an intelligence roll.
Hey. Oh, that's 17.
Yeah, it's a large city. You do remember seeing a few the equivalent of manhole covers, but for a medieval city. However, you do hear one peasant in the inn go, this is a big inn. There's probably one downstairs. And then you just go, oh.
That's where the spider came from. Well, that answers that question. Although,
we could go through a spider.
Maybe Remy looks toward the pounding door, and then looks toward the basement door, and begins just like putting up his talons, looking at them.
I'll take the spider over a horde of zombies.
That's true. Also, look, we will lose the advantage of flight if we go into the sewers, but
Oh, dark tunnels. Okay. Underground. Okay. Can't fly. Okay. All right. If it's to keep everyone safe, I guess we don't have a choice.
I'll nod. I'll say, it would make it easier for the villagers if we clear out a way to the sewers for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give a nod. I'll say, we can handle the spider. We fought worse.
You have?
Maybe minor illusions, the Umber Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
And nods furiously.
What's that thing?
What's that? It's small, you know. It's just a few
Don't
feet
remember
tall.
fighting that.
Yeah, you were. We fought that. Oh,
Well-
I guess the
Well, two
carcass
people
came
in this
from
party
somewhere.
fought it.
Yeah. All right.
As you're all about
Yeah.
to make your way to the back door, well, the door to the to downstairs. I don't remember why I kept the basement, but there is a better name for it.
Cellar?
Yes, thank you very much. I don't know why the word just didn't want to come out. Just as you're about to make your way to the cellar, Remy, your passive perception is high enough that you hear swords outside. Swords slashing into, tearing into bones and flesh. Right outside the back door of the inn.
So, yeah, Raimi is going to like kind of like stop in his tracks a moment and like, does he see where the back door is?
Well, I'd assume yes, especially if you're all making your way toward the door to the cellar, because you have to pass just in front of the door leading to the back store. No, I placed you like this as you were moving, but the door to the back store, Remy, I just placed you right in front of the door. So it's just gonna take 1 or 2 seconds for the stream to catch up. But that's where I placed you. That's the door. So you're gonna pass right in front of it as you are making your way to the cellar door.
I will ask, is the door sealed or is it...
It's been... there are a few things in front of it, especially since it's a back store. You know, there are a few barrels and a few crates that have been pushed against it. But as far as being sealed goes, eventually something's going to come through if it's attacked long enough.
Yeah, Raimi is going to, as they're like passing, like repeat the cling clang sword sound and point at the door.
Fisher, Audion, Daikar, how do you react?
Are there still 2 NPCs over by that door?
Yes.
All right. Get out of the way. We may have company coming through here pretty soon. You don't want to be between us and them when they do.
All right. How do you want to position yourselves?
I would be F13. The back door's at the top of the screen, right?
Yeah. F13 and G13. It's the back door of the store, so they get merchandise coming down from, so it's a large door.
Yeah, I'd take F13 and tell the NPC to get out of here. Or get out of my way.
What did Remy hear specifically? He made a sword clanging sounds?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's sort of the sounds of swords striking
zombies.
bones and flesh.
Alright, you know what? I want to take a risk, and I'm not going to ask other people's opinions on this. I'm going to go, and I'm going to go crack open the door and look out.
All right. You see audience suddenly trying to take a few crates out of the way. Make an athletics roll just to see how fast you can do this.
21.
21. You can do this pretty fast. So Fisher, as you brace yourself against this door, you just see audience coming right next to you and pulling a few barrels out, pushing a crate, and reaching out for one of the two doors.
I'm just gonna get ready to yank him back in if basically reversing the rules on the spider in case that happens.
Okay. Okay. Audience, you peek outside and it looks like a battlefield. But standing in the middle of this battlefield, you see Tesul surrounded by zombie corpse. There's maybe 5 or 6 more still alive, but he is just tearing through them. You recognize the pattern on his wings. You've seen it before, and it is how you can recognize from which clan they're from, and it's like a huge tapestry the size of a dragonborn back.
Alright. I'm gonna see Tesul. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna open the door and tell somebody, I don't know who. I'm just gonna shout back into the end, close the door behind me, and I'm gonna go run out to go help him. Because he's my friend, and I'm a
Okay.
lawful good paladin.
All right. Fisher, you just see audience run out the door.
Is there anything in like the immediate proximity of this door?
Yeah, just beside you, the weird drawings that you can see right next to your character on the map is actually different supplies. So there's crates, barrels.
No, like zombies or skeletons or anything.
Oh,
like right
no.
outside the door.
Right
between
outside the
us
door.
and
Right,
Tesul.
right outside the door. Like I said, it looks like a battlefield, but there's only a handful of zombies and skeleton left. This person that you've never seen, but you know what Naftans are. They're rather reclusive, but you spent enough time.
I'm pretty sure audience introduced me to him in the garden.
Alright,
Oh
then.
yeah, that's right. So it would only be Remy who has never seen Tesul. Well, seen but never interacted with him. So yeah, you'd recognize him. Very tall, dragonborn feature, but covered in a very thin layer of fluff, and huge moth-like wings in his back. You sporting 2 short sword.
Seeing him do that, I'll just shout back, change of plans, and follow him out.
All right. Well, roll for initiative for Fisher in audience because you get around before everyone else.
8.
Hey! Also 8.
Okay. Well, in that case, Tesul goes first with a 20, not natural 20, and he attacks. With all of his strikes. Easily taking down one of the zombie, and he turns toward all of you coming out, and you see reaching from under his cloak something which looks like an odd figurine, and he points it toward all of you, and suddenly you see the figurine back unfolds, looks at the undead, and there is a radiant light that emanates from it right in front of him, hitting maybe 2 or 3 other zombies in front, and you just see them starts burning from the light and just recoiling and pushing back. The object has a sense of familiarity to it. For a moment, it does feel like you're watching at the object that Tissul got in the garden.
Nice. Alright.
So Ternad, when are you gonna be able to do that?
Well, he seems more able than you. And I am unfortunately stuck drawing from you.
Fair enough.
The zombie attacks. Alright. There are 3 zombies not currently engaged by Tissul, all trying to attack you. Fisher, one attacks you with a 18.
Nope.
Then, of course, the other one doesn't hit you because it's 10. And the last one tries to hit Audience with a 17.
Nope.
So the zombies tries to reach
Surprise.
out to all of you,
Let's go.
tries to grab you, but you manage to just push them off. And it is your turn to strike. I believe... Who got the higher roll?
We both rolled 8.
Oh, all right. That's why I couldn't remember who got the best
Yeah.
roll. So
I have +3 initiative though, so I think mine's higher. So technically, I think I would be first. But
Yeah.
it doesn't
technically,
matter.
I'm better than
You're
Fisher.
you're out the door first, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, true.
All right.
Get him.
Well, then you're out, and you have a zombie right in front of you who just tried to slam into you and eat you alive. And it is your
Alright.
turn.
Well, I will hit it with my sword
Go ahead.
with a 23.
Does hit.
Okay. And my sword is also magic.
Yeah.
to remind me. And I will hit for plus 5. So I will hit it for 8 points of slashing damage.
All right. He takes the blow, turns slightly around, but he comes back to you and just starts again toward you. Fisher, your turn. There are 2 zombies trying to eat you alive.
I am going to green flame blade. Are they next to each other?
Yes, they both try to eat you, so they're one
Nice.
next to one another.
Yeah, I'm gonna green flame blade the one on the right
Okay.
with my great axe. And they are zombies though. An 8.
Okay.
Does that hit?
It just hits.
Yes. I rolled a 2. Let's go. So that would be rolled a 2 on the D12 too. 6 damage to the first one, and then 3 fire damage to the second one.
Okay. And the first one, you said you hit him for
6.
6. Okay. Alright, the initiative goes back to the top of the round, and you have Tykar and Raimi. Where are you when this happened? Raimi, you're in a good place to see that audience just push things out and went out the door. Heroically, as you would expect from him.
Yeah, curiosity gets the best of him, and he looks out and probably sees this all happening.
Yeah, if you go out, yes, you see all of this happening. Tykar, what do you do? You see audience push things out of the way and do the foolish thing, run outside.
And get all the glory to himself? I don't think so.
Well, he's not going to be the hero. So,
Nope, I'm the one that has to write the song.
well, in that case, you at least have to watch this. All right, so you go outside. Taikar and Remy, you go outside.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, you find yourself outside. You find yourself outside just in time for the second round. You can roll for initiative, but I have a feeling that they're not gonna survive the second onslaught of Tasul.
Yeah, just in case.
Go ahead.
That'll only be 14.
Okay.
10 with Taikar.
Okay. So audience rolled an 8, but he didn't count the +3 of his dexterity, meaning that he has 11, 10.
No, I did have 8. I
Okay.
counted it. I just was saying over because I got the +3.
Okay. All right.
He has an 8.16.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So Tasul turns back toward those he was attacking. And he does manage to finish off the 3 that were left in front of him that he was engaging. He turns around, and you see that tiny little creature that he took out just looks toward all of you, open up his wings, and you see this radiant flash of energy, almost blinding, but not exactly blinding, go toward you. You just see the zombies in front of you cook. They start burning, and you see this light energy just eating up at them, and they just dissolve into ash. Just all fall in front of you.
Alright. Seeing the zombies disintegrate and at the third field, I'm gonna turn back, seeing Thaikar in the door, I'm gonna say, tell the villagers that the back way is clear. If they want to leave, now is their chance.
Okay. I'll hold the door open with one arm and motion the people to come, like, well, those who are brave enough to come and venture towards safety, well, now's your chance.
That was very calm. All right, so you yell that, and you see everyone just trying to brace themselves. Of course, audience, as soon as you turn around, you see Tasul in front of you, and he says, "Ha ha ha! I expected the place which had resisted the longest to have you in it."
It is good to see you. I can see that you have been looking around, taking care of quite a few of the undead. Do you have a long-term plan?
Well, of course, managing to get everyone out would be the best, ideal thing to do. But finding the cause would most likely end all of this. I don't suppose you have heard anything which could be related to the cause of this.
I would look back at Thaikar and be like, Thaikar scouted the city. If anyone would know, it would be him. Thaikar, this is Tasul. He is a friend of ours, a friend back from the garden.
We heard some rumors in the inn that some villagers uncovered a crystal out in the farms.
A sliver. How interesting. From another realm, I would imagine. This does explain why this looks like our own legends. I would imagine this should be our priority. Otherwise, there is not gonna be much sense into saving everyone if this covers the world. Very well. I shall. And he stops there as all of you hear a deafening roar coming from the skies. Audience, this is something you did not want to hear because it sounds familiar in a way that you did not want it to be. You look up toward this deafening roar, and for a moment you do not recognize what this is, but as the shadow suddenly starts expanding, you recognize this gargantuan form, shadowy form diving toward the city. And you recognize the silhouette of it as being a gargantuan skeletal dragon diving toward the city. It pulls up just before hitting all of the building and makes a swoop down in the city, unleashing its breath everywhere. You see building covered in the necrotic ice. You hear people scream and their screams become muffled. And you see the buildings outside. You can just make out a few buildings which were covered in this ice starts wilting away, and they start crumbling and falling apart. You hear it again roar. The roar covers the entire city. Audience, you do remember having heard your god roar once before to impress raiders who had decided to attack your village. This feels very similar to it, but also in a way that you did not want to have this now. You hear Tesul right beside you go, "Oh, this is going to be an interesting challenge."
I'll turn to him. I'll be like, maybe a challenge for you, but certain death for us. I believe if we want to accomplish our task, our best bet would be to try and avoid that monstrosity.
I will draw its attention. Try and find the cause of this. Save people if you can, but focus on solving the problem. Try not to outshine me. I cannot fly as fast as it can. I will not be able to rescue you if you do.
I'll give a nod. I'll say, best of luck, my friend, and hopefully I shall see you on the other side.
And to you as well. And he just crouch a little, take off like a torpedo in the sky, and you see this small white light just go toward the dragon. We're going to take our break right now as you figure out how are you going to get to solving this problem. So we will be back in roughly 10 minutes for the second half of this Halloween event. See you all in about 10 minutes, maybe 12. Bye. Aha, welcome back everyone. As you can see, no one decided to leave because they were scared. So, let's keep on going to this.
That was an option.
Well, you know, your soul can always get out of there, but who knows what's gonna happen to Fisher if you do. Well, in your case, Taranad.
I've got a co-pilot.
Yeah, but do you really want him to have the glory of having saved you from all of this?
No.
You sure you're gonna live that down? All right, so here we are, and I'm I'm not gonna do the same mistake twice. Here we go. Everything's ready. All right. So you are outside of the inn, and just as everyone does his best to leave the inn and close the door behind you, you hear the defenses of the inn crumble and fall. And just as the last peasant leaves the place, you see this horde starting to crawl and push its way inside the inn, and you close the door, finding yourselves mostly alone in a large city overrun by undeads and other creatures, while being watched by an undead dragon whose attention has been sharply refocused toward a bright point of light, being your friend Tesul drawing his attention.
All right. After Tesul flies away, I will turn back to the rest of the party. I'll say, well, we have our objective, and I think that we must move as quickly and quietly as possible. I'll turn to Thykar. I'll say, do you want to go back to our original plan of you scouting out the easiest way for us to make it to the wall and to the nearest gate, and we can try and make it out of the city?
That sounds like a good idea, but I can count on you to be fairly quiet without your armor, and Mikan, who seems to be able to walk around stealthily also. But Fisher, you might draw unwanted attention towards us, if you don't mind my saying. So can you just come over here for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna... You have a little bit of a something there. I'm just gonna sleight of hand put a piece of gum Arabic with a eyelash in it, just stick it to his forehead. You're now invisible.
Oh, cool.
For an hour.
I was so hoping no one said that they would try and chew Arabic gum. I've heard it so often since Critical Role, and since someone did that in Critical Role. Arabic gum is not something you can chew. I know, I've seen it. I've tasted it. It tastes awful. And no, I didn't taste it because of Critical Role. It's just because I'm that kind of person who is very curious.
Well, to be fair, it looks like raisins.
It depends on the final shape. I really got a raw piece of the resin. So yeah. It
All right.
breaks like candy in the mouth, but it really doesn't taste like candy.
Lovely. All right.
Well,
Let's...
I mean, this is pretty cool, but I mean, I'll do my best.
Well, it'll help.
It'll help.
It's easier to not notice a fridge not walking around, you know?
Basically, mechanic-wise, you'd have advantage because you're invisible, but you also have disadvantage because you make sound, so now you just roll straight
All right.
stealth.
Cool.
I'll turn to Thykar. I'll say, we'll follow your lead.
All right. I'll fly my ass up and try to find a clear-ish way
Okay,
towards a gate.
so you are going to do this as a group, and each and every one, depending on what you contribute to this is going to either increase or decrease the DC for finding your way without attracting attention.
Roll high, boys. I believe in you.
Tykar, you go off and you serve as eyes in disguise.
Yep.
You also covered Fisher. Audience, Remy and Fisher, is there anything you'd like to try and contribute to this?
Seeing as due to audiences sightseeing time spent when we first got to the city, can I I don't know, because I was basically just sitting on the back of the cart watching as we just circled all over the place. Can I try and remember what the fastest route back to the gate would be?
Yeah, that's doable. Make an intelligence roll. It's supposed to be one of your stronger traits because of your subclass.
Would. We're not on the water. Would navigator's tools proficiency help at all with this? It is nighttime.
Yeah, but you did this during the day. So if you'd had cartographer's tool, I would have given you something,
Fair
but
enough.
not navigation.
Okay. Straight intelligence?
Yeah,
That is a 16.
16. All right. Okay. Audience and Remy, is there... Fisher, you feel fairly confident because of how well Audience got you lost in the city. You have a good mental map of where things are. Don't worry, Audience. I'm the same when I get into a city the first time. I always get lost. It's always a good thing because I don't get lost twice. Audience and Remy, is there anything you'd like to do to try and lower the DC again?
I am going to say that at intervals where, if we're going to be doing this in kind of more of a one-time thing, I'm going to say that I will have used for any point when Thykar might not have been sure of something, or
Okay.
just I'm going to say I'm going to have used at least one of my divine senses, which can sense any fiend undead within 60 feet, to help us navigate our way and avoid conflict. So I
Okay.
will have at least used that once, if that'll lower the DC.
How long does it last when you use it?
It's just until your next turn, so 6
Okay.
seconds. So it'd be like a one-time thing to check
Okay.
an area
So
within
it's
60 feet.
It's sort of a radar ping.
Yeah, it's kind of a radar ping.
Okay. Okay. Remy?
Definitely. I would say like, actually, I'll go with it. I'll go with that. Randy would have been willing to use one of his spell slots to activate one of the special features of his lantern,
Okay.
to give him advantage on perception investigation checks to find hidden creatures or even like hidden doors or places, basically to where like constantly keeping an eye out for any places where like they might be able to sneak past any creatures that might be on the way, or maybe even to avoid them entirely if possible.
Okay. Yeah. I'll accept that. All right. So. All right. In that case, that does... Oh, it's a very, very interesting group of feature. All right. Who is the person that... Well, who is the person that helms the group?
Probably me.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'd probably... No. Yeah, it'd probably be me. Because I'd be... Yeah, I'd probably...
Well, my reflex from my point of view would be either Audience or Tykar.
Me or Remy. I think I was thinking Tykar was not... Tykar's the head. Tykar's leading the group because he's flying above, kind of like scouting. For the best route. I assume at points he would come back to tell us if there was like any... We're like somewhere alley we shouldn't go down.
It's like and I guess maybe Ramy would be at least like the head of the ground group, since
Okay.
since he is the one kind of like keeping a closer eye on like where everything
The
is
lantern.
and where. Yeah.
I agree with that.
You could also be more quietly, like communicating back and forth with Tykar.
because of message.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing he'd be doing.
All right, so
Although
definitely.
it'll be confusing for Tykar because he's not used to it.
Yeah, but he knows
We'll get
about
real
it now.
used to it real fast.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I'm starting to get used to it. I got the message earlier.
All right, so well, in that case, it really does look like that Remy is the one helming the effort. And since the normal role for this would have been investigation, and you are doing so much to help investigation, roll an investigation roll for me.
Dooby dooby doo. Let's see if we can get even better. Yep, definitely not that one. It's like the second roll was a 1, so thankfully
Well-
definitely not that one. That'll be a 19.
19. 19 is enough. You manage to sneak your way into the town, into the upper region of the city. The city is 3 tiers. One is the castle, which is above you, and one is the more residential area beneath you. So you manage to coordinate everything. Tykar, you receive from time to time update from Remy, and you answer him back. Remy conveys the information in a way that helps you avoid all traps for the upper part of this. After a little while, you find yourself having zigzagged and found a mostly safe route toward the gate of the tier of where you are. So sneakily, you look at a group of zombies shambling their way through the streets. You hear people screaming. You notice that in a few buildings, a resistance has been offered in some way. But you manage to keep focus on this, and you find your way to the gate. You manage to pass the gate without attracting any attention. Now you find your way in an audience. I will have you burn 1 slot of your divine sense.
Right, do that.
You find your way in the lower tier of the city, where most of the lower class people live. So there's a lot more people living there, and the way to the gate outside is much longer. So the DC goes up. If you want to change something in your routine,
I will burn another divine sense
okay.
for this section as well.
Okay. So this is a much larger piece of the city. Remy, make your investigation roll.
Dooby dooby doo wah, dooby dooby doo wah. That'll be a 23.
23, all right. The DC had increased from 15 to the first time to 20 the second time, but you managed to find your way through the back alleys and securely make your way. Tykar, there is one moment where you feel that it was way too close for comfort, as when you passed above an area where there were fewer people, you found yourself realizing that you were in a very bad contrast of colors, from the ground to you to upward. And just at that moment, fortunately, you saw a huge flash of white light in the sky, and the dragon just plummeted toward that flash and continued its fight again, narrowly managing to escape being detected by the flying Dracolich above all of you. So you manage to not get noticed. You, however, find yourself at the last challenge to get out of this place, as in front of the gate, you see one of those knights who is just looking around. And Tykar, you do see this as you're flying above. This looks like one of the knights that you saw just turn undead, but in the bad sense of the word. Normal people all around him, creating a small army of undead creature. He is standing right in front of the main gate. He does not seem to have noticed the group approaching.
Um,
Equipment. What do I have?
Just how high up are you flying? Are you just barely making your way above the roofs? Are you half flying inside of the streets? Or are you really trying to stay clear of the roof, even high enough to see above the walls?
not quite that high, but a bit higher than the roofs.
Okay. All right. In that case, nothing changes from what I said.
Okay. I could distract it with something.
I was thinking I have a javelin that I don't care about. I was thinking we could do the classic I chuck a javelin as far as I can into like an alley on the other side. Maybe they go to check it out and we make a break for it and then just keep running once we're outside the gate and just once we create some distance try and lose it and then come back and search the wall.
I can make dancing lights. If I combine all orbs together, they make a vaguely humanoid shape, and I can make it walk around.
Okay.
That sounds good. I could chuck the javelin over there, and then you could make that lights.
While you chuck the javelin, whatever doesn't go after the javelin, I'll try to lure with the humanoid figure.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
All right.
And Randy would actually also offer to just kind of like, actually, I guess the only way he could really say it is like as you're discussing his plan, as you're discussing their plan, he'll like point to his own beak, open it a little bit.
I think Remy's
And make
trying
a
to tell
tiny
us he can
sound.
help. Yeah, I think Remy's trying to tell us he can help with the distraction.
All right.
I'll turn. I'll say. So, depending on what they do, before we do this, depending on what they do, if they all go, then I think we try and sneak out. If not all of them go, though, but most of them go or most of them leave, I think honestly speed's our best bet. Just try and run through the gate. If any get in your way, just try and knock them aside. Once we're outside of the gate, basically keep going and we'll try and lose them outside if they follow us. Don't try and combat them in the gate. I don't want to get bogged down here and draw too much attention.
All right. Only thing is, dancing lights is also concentration, so invisibility will drop on the
It's
on
fine.
middle boy as soon as I do it.
That's fine. Again, we're kind of gonna. I don't think we're sneaking by them as they are now anyway. So I think we're just gonna have to hope that the distraction gives us enough time to, I doubt we're gonna be able to sneak by them. We're probably gonna have to just make a break for it and hopefully get most of them out of the way,
All right.
or at least. I think we can outrun zombies, and hopefully a knight. I don't know how fast a knight is. I know we can probably outrun zombies.
All right. And so this is what you try?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Who wants to helm this deception?
I mean, I guess it would be all of us taking part.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if we should all make separate roles for each of our distractions.
What happens is that based on what everyone decided to contribute, that increased or lowered the DC, but someone has to helm the deception. Make the roll.
Okay.
Remy, what's
Okay.
your deception? Oh no, wait, no. Thykar is probably the highest on that. You have the highest charisma.
I'm +5 for deception.
Yeah, I'm +2.
Rami has a +4.
All right,
Okay.
sounds like Thykar.
Yep. Let's go. 21.
21.
Thank fuck for the +5.
All
That's
right.
pretty good.
So you get your plan into motion. Audience, you throw the javelin, and immediately there is a moment where you're not sure if you did the right thing. You chuck the javelin, and you just go right past the main street and toward the other end. And you see the undead knight watch toward where the javelin went, and then watch toward where the javelin came from. At that moment, Tykar, seeing that the undead paladin, let's call it like this, because you don't actually know what this is. When you see him just turn his head toward where the javelin came from, you unleash this form that apparates where exactly? In front of them, where the javelin went?
A bit like further in front of where the group is, so that like his gaze would stop on the humanoid figure, so
Okay.
he can run off without like looking elsewhere.
Okay. So you see him turn and watch this person made out of light just materialize in front of him, and you push that person so it starts walking off, and immediately you watch the knight look at this, turn towards the undeads around him, and watch that, and you watch all of the undead move away, but the knight stays there. Remy, you're part of the plan?
Yeah, it's like as basically like as the like basically like he kind of like uses his mimicry to kind of like throw his voice to make it seem like the running like he's like, fuck, I missed.
Okay. So you see all of the undead move away, and then you see the knight turn his head slightly on one side, gives a small push to his horse, and he starts moving away. The DC was 20. You got 21.
Jesus.
Way to go, guys.
Let's
I
go.
had literally nothing.
You know what?
No, but
There was
you were there
stuff,
for the
like,
contingency. It's
When
fine.
we
Yeah.
actually hashed it out
Yeah.
there, I was surprised at how good our party actually had it. Like, we had so many different tools to use.
Well, almost everything you said from the beginning of this getting out of the city to now almost always made the DC go down. Just enough. The first time you rolled a 19, the DC was 15. The second time, the DC went up to 20, and you rolled 23. And now the DC was again 20 because of everything you made, and you rolled a 21. You were always just on the edge of being seen.
Alright, guys. Well, once the night moves away, I'll
So
motion to
fucking
everyone
lucky.
that we should get the fuck out of here. Also, I did not know the knight had a horse. The outrunning idea now seems less.
Really?
Yeah, knowing that he has an actual fucking steed makes me just go like, man, must suck not having wings on. Must...
Yeah, less accurate. Good thing.
Yeah, except for the Dracolich, I could just catch up with me and end me with one hit.
Good thing he's not. Good thing he's not riding a nightmare, because they can fly without wings.
So, yeah, so we sneaking out.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then if
The night
anything
moved
actually
away.
sees us, we're
100%.
just
You
bolting.
manage
Yeah.
to sneak past the night with only one in your roll to cushion this.
We're clenching. There's definitely a lot of there's some clenching as we walk out the gate. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. Don't.
There's a small trail of white behind Raimi as
So just to let you know how well you made, the first DC to succeed if you hadn't done anything was 25. The second one was 30, and the one at the gate was also 30.
Nice job, guys.
okay.
Nice job. All right. Well, we're outside. Let's go.
So you find yourself outside, and you see this small trickle of undead just finding their ways outside of the city. You do see that from one of the manhole exits, you could say. You do see spiders just keeps entering this the sewer system. You see undead making their way on top of walls from ladders that have been placed in there. You do see one knight near the wall just gesturing to the undead, because as long as he's not gesturing, you just see the undead run next to the wall and then bump in the wall, bump in the wall, bump in the wall. But then you see the undead gesture toward the ladder, and suddenly they all start climbing the ladder. And just as you manage to turn to go far enough to not be seen from the main gate, you see a large group of skeletons just slowly marching inside of the city. Maybe something like 30 or 40 skeletons in rows. So not just a bluff skeleton, neatly moving information. That's the word that we're looking for. A group of skeletons moving in formation entering the city. You are outside. The air smells foul, and there is a slight mist. Not enough to impair vision, but there is a mist hovering everywhere. You can still see the explosions of light in the sky, but they have started to grow more distant from one another. Either the dragon is tiring itself, or Tesul is running out of resources.
I'm gonna bet on the latter. All right. I'll say, well, finding the shard may not be as difficult as we thought. I said, pointing to the undead. Probably just follow the undead back the way they came, and I'm sure we'll find the shard. Destroying it, another matter. But one task at a time.
Yeah. Does it look like they're all coming from the same direction?
They seem to be coming from everywhere. That's the odd thing. But make a perception roll.
Should we all do it, or should one person?
I think
Me?
You can all make it. Anyone who is actively trying to look around to see where the shard could be can make a perception roll on this.
Okay.
14.
that's gonna be a 21.
That's a 9 for me.
That's a nat 20 for 21.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
23 with Taranad.
All right. Well, in that case, there is this slight moment of pride in you, Fisher, as you say out loud at the same time as you hear Taranad say, "Over there." We got it at the same time as him. He didn't beat me this time. You see this in the middle of one field. There is a place where everything seems to be dead. And there is a slightly thicker mist in maybe a 10-foot radius around one point. And the blight seems to extend from there because you see plants still struggling to remain alive, maybe 30 or 40 feet away. But the more you watch and look at the source of the mist, the more you see that there's nothing alive there.
Look over. Looks like that's our destination then.
Indeed. But before we keep going, I'm just going to kneel down and grab my ink vial from my sack and lather my wings so that they're not as jutting in the darkness.
Well, your wings are significant. It's gonna take a little bit of time to...
Just a quick, like, splash and, like, spread, just to be, like,
Alright.
less immediately visible.
Alright. So, are you making your way there by running or by being as sneaky as you can possibly be?
Sneaky. Definitely.
Yeah.
In that case,
What do you guys?
everyone
in-
rolls a stealth check to get there.
Oh boy.
Fisher, don't fuck this up.
You are no longer invisible, Fisher, remember.
Yep. Disadvantage with a +0. Let's go. Hey! An 11.
That's not... Honestly, anything above 10 I'll take.
Uh,
I mean,
Okay, everyone else?
19.
14, I'm guessing I smell of ink quite badly.
You smell
Oh,
of
wait,
Nothing
course.
bad of a great
audience
sense
is
of
the
smell.
most stealthy. Let's all take a moment to think that the giant dragonborn is the most.
the
That
Kenku rolled
thing,
lower than usual.
that thing is stealthy.
Audience seems to glide through the mist.
If anything, Raimi was maybe it's just that Raimi was kind of like actually using you for cover, but like he kept tripping because he stared
keeps
at the wrong place at the wrong times.
He keeps looking up, you know. And Taikar, you know, if you want to justify this, you just remember that, that's right, you put perfume on yourself or cologne just before you took that person up to your room. You know, you wanted to give yourself just this extra edge. Ah, damn.
So it's ink mixed with perfume. That must
Yeah.
smell amazing. I smell like the most like toxic Sharpie in the world.
Vapors of
Luckily,
sharp.
zombies and skeletons not known for their sense of smell.
And this is probably why, although Fisher rolled kind of low, as a whole, you did roll good. A few moments, you see Fisher walking around and then stepping on something, moving fast so that he doesn't lose his balance, and then you hear his armor go.
Yeah, there's like a crack of a stick and then chink, chink, chink. Recover from that.
But since you're all very stealthy, to compensate, the average does function and is enough to get to this place. So, and you are entering another battle map.
Alright. As we enter, by the way, this area,
Yes.
because now that we're in, I am going to use my last divine sense to find the location of any undead
Ooh.
teams.
Oh, that's
Figure out.
interesting.
So yeah, I can by the hollow spell. Oh, it's also anything affected by the hollow spell, and know the location of any. So it's not only know, it's like know the location of the fiend undead within 60 feet, unless they are behind total
you extend this as far as you can, and you arrive at the bottom. So you are right now, as you enter the battle map, you are at J1.
J1. So I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I can literally pretty much cover the entire area except for the very back corner.
Except for the sides, yeah. All right. So your sense extend. You sense, if I remember, divine sense is only celestial, fiend,
Undead, and anything affected by the hollow spell, which is like what is creating these zombies basically right now.
yeah. So yes, of course, when you do this, the mist itself feels foul, undeadish. Right at G and H, both 11 and 12, so just below the rock at the end, where the mist is coming from, you feel something fiendish there. Not as strong as a fully fledged fiend, but there is something that is influenced by fiendish nature there.
Okay. I'm going to point out the rock then, point to basically the two spots in front of the rocks, and I'll be like, I'll kind of hold up my hand for like 2, and then mouth like fiendish to the party, and I'll be like, kind of point to where they are. Is that all I sense? It's just those two?
Those two
fiendish
feelings, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll point to the rock, and I'll hold up my hand for 2 fiendish at the rock. And I'll be like, and I'll also be like, I'll kind of mouth before we enter. I'll be like, once we engage, speed's going to be the priority. We should probably have 2 of us engage whatever is guarding the shard, or as many as we can. At least have one person, though, actively trying to destroy the shard at all times, since I assume once we attack it, the Draco Lich is going to notice that the thing creating this disturbance is being affected. Or not the Draco, yeah, the Draco Lich. So I would say dragon, though, since science. The skeletal dragon will probably notice. So I don't even think beating whatever is guarding it is our goal. Mostly just destroying the shard. The rest of us are mostly just going to be distractions.
All right. Where on the battle map would you like to be when this starts?
I mean, probably try and get as close to the rock as possible.
Yeah.
Before it notices us. So, and then once it notices us, basically just sprint at it.
All right. In that case, as you enter, I'm gonna say, give me a place between F and J and 1 and 3.
F and J and 1 and 3. I will be as close as I can. So 3F.
I'll do G3 then, I guess. Right next to him.
Okay.
I'll take F3.
Oh wait, I was sorry. I could be H3 if he wants to be F3. I'll just go to H3. I'll be right in front.
Oh, excuse, you said F3? I'll go to H3, my bad.
Okay.
It's fine.
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Remy?
Yeah, he's probably. So I'll make it H1.
Okay.
Oh, behind. Okay.
All right. So. As you
didn't plan
approach.
on Max. fuck's sake.
What?
We didn't plant the fucking tree.
I don't even know if we had the tree. I didn't actually think about it.
You didn't look through your backpack. You don't know exactly what carried over.
Yeah, I was too focused on the.
Damn it.
Trees are overrated.
Yeah, trust me, the tree is overrated.
Oranak is for firewood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. All right, so as you all start approaching, you all approach at the same time, or do you want to deploy and?
No, we probably all approach at the same
All
time
right.
at this point.
Well, in that case,
Maybe at least would have like tried to stealth on his way up.
All right. Well,
Well, I think we were all stealthing. I think our goal was we were all stealthing for as long as possible. So,
Okay,
one of
I didn't
us
know if
was
we were.
noticed. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Yeah,
well, Rainy
but you
will
could be like
maintaining
trying to
stealth.
Yeah, trying
Yeah.
to stay hidden behind us more.
Once I was aware that the fiendish creature had noticed one of us, I was basically using a dash action immediately to close the distance.
All right. Well, in that case, I will have everyone roll initiative.
Oh, fuck.
Damn,
5.
I wish I could have kept that nat 20 for an actual combat roll, but I guess I'll go first in initiative. That's a nat 20. 23.
19.
Okay.
It's 15. Everyone's beating out the Dex boy today.
So. All right. So 20, 23 for audience. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, a crit would have been so good with Divine Smite. Sad I roll. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. I'll just roll another one.
All right. Fisher, you said you had
19.
19. Remy?
He rolled a 15 total.
Daikar?
Not 1, so that's gonna be 5.
You are really distracted by the smell of yourself right now.
He's full of himself.
I'm not used to not
Okay.
smelling fucking amazing.
But now you're just distracted by your own masculine musk.
Yeah, he's full of himself. Quite
Here's a
literally.
question.
As long as the zombies aren't full of me, that's perfect.
All right.
It's nighttime, right?
Yes.
It is nighttime.
Something I just realized. Do literally any of us have dark vision?
Nope. The elf is gone, buddy.
No.
I mean, like if we're actually, how much are we going by canon as far as like when
Well, all right. So it is nighttime, and there is cloud cover. So meaning the moon is very much stifled by the clouds. You do have a pale glow above, but it's not much. So you're basically in dim light everywhere.
Okay.
What were you
Okay.
going to add, Remy?
I was actually just going to ask real quick, like, how much was canon from like basically anything that that would have happened, like, you know, like when he went to bed isn't the case.
What you remember is what I said at the beginning.
Okay, that's making sure.
I
Just like
said that.
I just needed to know how many.
Okay.
I just needed to know how many like spell slots I actually had in my lantern, if any.
No, I would allow you to be at to be completely rested in terms of spell slots, because what you remember isn't necessarily what actually happened before all of this started. So the only spell slot that you've used is the one that you used to create to give yourself advantage on your roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I was just making sure for reference.
Okay. All right. So, as soon as you all get in, the moment that you touch the row 4, The initiative starts. And it starts with audience with a 23. What you see the moment that the initiative fall is that you see this pale glow from the center of the mist. It becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. But then you start noticing that the lights have a pattern. You can see eyes. You can see a nose. You can see a mouth. And it slowly rises in the shape of what could be called a scarecrow with a pumpkin for a head.
Alright.
Is it wearing metal armor at all?
No. It rises completely, standing 10 foot tall. It is a large creature. Right at the end, right where you were going.
Do I notice a shard?
The light, when it stands up, feels like it is now encased inside the pumpkin head.
Okay. So, kill the boss to get the shard. Got it. Alright. In that case, audience, as he said, noticing that the shard is in the pumpkin head, will be like, we must kill the thing, and quickly, and then we'll use a dash action to cover, because I don't think I can get there in 30 feet if I'm at 3, well, let's see, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, I would be short. Yeah, I would be short. So I will use...
Well, actually, you'd be exactly there, because as I said, the moment that you hit the row 4, meaning you are at 4 right now, it is exactly 30 feet
am
to
I
the
counting?
creature.
Okay. Well, then, in that case, I will move the 30 feet to the creature, running at it, and take a good shot at it with my longsword.
Then go ahead.
Make sure it goes back in the ground before it even rises up. With a 16 plus 7, so a 23.
23 does hit.
I hope to God it hits. That pause made me really nervous there.
Yeah, Skeleton Jack's being a...
Alright, and I will lead off with a Divine Smite, because why not? So
Go
that's
ahead.
3d8. Plus whatever, I think. And 2d8 of that, well, I'll tell you, is radiant. But it's all magic.
And
is it undead?
No, it is a fiendish plant.
Yeah. No, I'm just letting them know it's radiant. And also that none of it is not non-magical, which could matter. Okay, that's 8. Okay. That's good. 16 plus 5 is 21, plus my other 4... plus my other 5 is 26. So yeah, I'll just walk up and casually hit it for a 26 damage.
How much of this is your weapon and how much of this is your radiant?
16 of it is my radiant. I rolled 2 8s. And then the rest is, so then 26. So 16 of it is radiant, the other 26. 10. That's 10. I can do that math. The other 10 of it is from my +1 longsword.
And 16 is radiant, is that it?
16 is radiant.
When you strike it with your weapon and it flares up with radiant energy, you strike it and it lets out a scream of pain as you see the radiant energy grasp into it and harm it even more than what you would expect. It recoils slightly and you hear him go, "Ah!" but it rises one hand and use a legendary action to retaliate against your hit.
As it retaliates, I want to say that I said, you thought you were my nightmare, but I'm yours.
It strikes
There
at
you
you
go.
with a 19.
Yeah, that's going to hit me.
I lost one dice. Don't worry,
Well-
I have many more.
We'll trade blows. That's okay.
Alright. It hits you for... 10 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits you with a backswing that forces you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Well, luckily I'm pretty good at those. Yeah, that's going to be a 17, so unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. The hit hits you with so much force that it pushes you back 5 feet. But you manage to stay on your feet and you do this thing that we can see in games where you get hit with enough force that it should have knocked you on the ground and pushed you away, but you stand firm and you see these tracks left in front of you from your feet being firmly planted in the ground. But you were pushed back 5 feet away.
My grandma can hit harder than that. Is that the best you've got?
All right, we go next to the initiative is Fisher.
Alright, so did you say it was dim light?
Dim light all
Okay, so
everywhere.
we can see well enough to hit stuff.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Then I will...
It's all shades of gray everywhere.
I will run up the same 30 feet and go for an attack with my great axe.
Okay.
That is a 23 to hit.
It does hit.
For
I'm just looking. All right.
10 damage.
10 damage. You are hitting with your great axe, if I'm not mistaken.
Regular great axe.
Regular
That is
great
10
axe.
slashing damage.
You hit it with your axe, and the hit does connect, and it does make a little bit of damage. However, it feels like it was lacking some stopping power as you hit. It has resistance against non-magical damage.
Fuck. It's like the water elemental.
It's okay, Fisher. One of these fights you'll be used. No, I'm kidding.
And you hear Taranet go, exactly what I've been saying.
I killed some zombies earlier. I hit it. That's more than usual.
I hit a zombie earlier.
All right. The next one on the initiative is Raimi with a 15.
Oh god. Also, is the map updated or?
It doesn't look like it's.
It should update. It's updated on my end. It might be just a few seconds.
There we go.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Also, shouldn't audience and
Why-
Oh, sorry. No.
There you go.
I mixed up the two names. Yeah, sure. So
No, it's
Like-
Fisher and Pterodon. You're both up there. The T is for Pterodon.
Yes.
So it should be like this. Sorry, I switched the letters.
T is for Terranad, and R is for real bird.
Oh yeah, because it pushed me 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Which will actually matter because I won't be able to use my sentry on it if it tries to hit Fisher, which will be annoying.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and do this just to see if this might actually work this time. Although then again, it does also have legendary actions, so it might have legendary resistances.
It might.
Hmm.
But that's meta knowledge. So
Throw it out and see what happens.
yeah.
It's like, I will see what happens. It's like Raimi will use a bonus action to store a spell slot into his lamp, and then immediately release it as he casts Fairy Fire onto the area of this creature.
Nice.
Needs to make a DC 13 Dexterity throw,
Okay.
which I'm hoping a plant doesn't have much of.
It does seem to be a big, strong man, so it might not be that dexterous.
Well, he's tall and gangly. Might be really clumsy.
It rolled a total of 18 on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Okay.
It dodges the spell just as it comes.
I was hoping to make at least things a little easier. In which case, Raimi is going to then move to... he will move to L10 and end his turn, because that required both his action and bonus action.
Okay. It is now the turn of Mr. Jack-o'-lantern. And I hope the name isn't branded by someone, but I'm using the myth of Jack-o'-lantern, which isn't an intellectual property, so... Alright, so you see this huge half plant with a pumpkin head turn toward you, Fisher. It makes one step to the side. So it's still within your range, Fisher, but it turns toward you. And you see it breathe in. You see the fire inside of his head grow stronger and stronger and stronger. And it exhales. You see a breath of bluish light fire come out of his come out of his mouth. Go all the way to 20 in a 20 feet cone, enveloping Fisher and audience. You both make a Constitution saving throw from this.
Con save. Ah, sweet.
I fail. I just fail. I rolled a 2.
Oh, maybe not sweet. 12.
You unfortunately do not make the DC.
This isn't poison, right?
It is necrotic.
Oh man, it's necrotic. It's not even.
I quickly drink my potion of resist now.
Next round.
Just eats the bottle. Everything. Fuck it.
So you both take 12 points of necrotic damage from this. And just as it finished exhaling, you see it retake a breath, and you see all of the flame go back inside of him, and you see his skin reforming, regenerating.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, fuck off.
All right, time for the burn plan. This is the regeneration fight.
Yeah, if you can throw some metal armor on him.
I don't think we're doing the heat metal plan.
Come on.
All
He's probably
right.
resistant to fire. He's probably
I
resistant
know
to
you
fire
have
anyway.
heat metal yet.
This is his action as it just takes back the flame that it just threw out. You see the most of the injury that you caused him just close up. You see this light glow coming from where the wounds were, closing them up, and it is nearly back to its full
So he can
potential.
even heal radiant damage. That's unfortunate. Okay. So, but he could only heal physical.
It is Taikar's turn.
All right. First, I'm gonna shoot it with my +1 hand crossbow.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
What is the range of your crossbow?
Hand crossbow is 30 to 120.
Okay, all right. You're just at the edge.
Yep.
All right. So you rolled a
13.
13 does not hit. You fire
All right.
and it just dodges.
In that case, I'll use my bonus action to slap a bardic inspiration on everyone, basically, because I'm using Mantle of Inspiration. You all get 5 temp, and if you want to, you can move up to your speed without risking an attack of opportunity.
Nice.
So you can all move 30 feet now.
So you fire your crossbow and you give this encouragement to everyone. And just as you finish talking, you hear the monster in front of you go. You all have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, you bitch. Okay.
Is this before or after?
It is a
movement?
legendary action.
So it's at the end of his turn, right?
At the end of Taikar's turn, yes.
Okay, so we still get to do the move.
Oh yes, you can still move if you needed to move. I thought you said
Okay.
you didn't want to move.
No, I will move.
No, it's Taikar. Taikar was the last one to move. It's on his turn.
No, it's you can move 30. It's
His ability.
My
You can.
Mantle of
you could use your
Inspiration lets everyone move
Oh.
up to their speed. Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead, move.
It's crazy good, actually. They all get 5 temp, and they can all just fuck off if they
Okay,
want to.
well, go ahead, move.
Yeah. Is the battle map updated?
I'm not
presently,
moving.
no.
I'm staying exactly where I am.
Yeah, I think it's
Because
updated.
I thought. Okay, there
Yeah,
we go.
there
Now
it
it's
is.
updated.
Yeah.
I will go I will go to. E14.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it doesn't change anything. You all have to make a wisdom saving throw.
No, I know. I am going to go to H13, so I'm behind it, and I'm gonna climb up on top of the rock, so I can get a good old swing. You know, because once a famous man once said, "Go for the head." when
Okay.
Fighting a boss, and
Remy,
my
is there
plan.
any place you'd like to move?
There's presently not any. You know, at the very least, he'll just like move an extra to M. We'll move to M10, or no, wait, no, that's the wrong number. M12.
Okay.
I got. You says a whiz save, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
Where'd you go?
I'll be 19.
I got a 15.
Remy?
I lost the die. Hold on.
Okay.
It did the jump out the cup thing.
Yeah, all right.
Wow, Ramy, you are surprisingly brave today. A soft 20.
Soft 20. All
Oh, no,
right.
excuse me, a soft 21. I forgot
21.
I had the
All right. So, Remy and Taikar. Taikar, you rolled a 19. Remy, a 21. You are not affected by this, but Fisher and audience,
Damn, 15
You-
wasn't enough.
You missed the save DC. But I'm not sure. I think I'd have to check for audience. You're both frightened.
Yes,
Yay.
I would be. I am not immune
Not
yet.
yet. Okay.
No,
Not yet. To
it's like
be frank.
10th level or something.
You're about frightened.
I think I get a thing a little bit earlier than 10th, but
You're both frightened from the creature as this
Okay.
laugh just resonate inside your mind.
well, it's my turn next. So that means I will be moving away from it.
Well,
Is
frightened,
it regular frightened or is
Yeah,
it
regular
You don't have to
frightened.
move away from it.
Okay.
Regular
You don't have to move
frightened
away,
just
means
means
you
that
can't get
you
closer.
can't move closer to it, but you do have disadvantage on all attack rolls.
Okay.
However, at the beginning of your turn, you can make another wisdom save to see if you can break the fear.
Alright, I will do that. I will not. I roll worse. I rolled 6.
You do not break the fear, so you
Alright.
attack with disadvantage.
Luckily, I can still attack it because I moved. I didn't move away from it, so I can still hit it. It's just gonna be hard. Okay, and okay. 14. Does 14 hit?
No, it does not. You attack, and he simply dodges it.
All right. Well, that's my turn.
All right. In that case, we go to Fisher.
Alright. This thing's fucking scary, and my axe didn't do anything.
And you're one square away, meaning that you need something that can hit at least 10 feet. You said I-14.
I said E14.
Yeah.
I am
Same.
farther
Oh.
away.
He is
E14,
further
even
away.
more. Sorry.
He's even further
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
So I am going to pull out my diamond and attempt to panic, let loose a thunder orb.
Okay,
Thunder.
go ahead.
Disadvantage.
Da-na-na-na-na. Thunder. Da-da-na-da.
Let's go. That's
If only
cocked.
that was the right riff.
That one's can't really get worse than that. You can get worse than that, as it turns out. That's a nat one.
The spell, you're so frightened that you point the gem toward the creature and you didn't realize you're holding it backward. So you see the spell just go back to the other way. Oh,
How do you hold a diamond backwards?
I don't know, the point of the diamond going forward, but he was distracted, so it's pointing
It's not
slightly
it's
to
not
the
a
side.
perfect diamond. So it's like a prism. You shoot the spell into it, and then it bounces off at an angle. I
Ah,
had it turned the wrong way.
just dark side of the moon above him.
Yeah. Accidentally cast color spray instead. Alright, yeah, no, so that's
All
Right?
right.
Yes, it's up to me
rolled
to
with
make you
disadvantage.
snap out.
One was a 4, the other one was cocked. I'm like, well, that's gonna be a miss. Oh no, that's a 1. Even
All
worse.
right. The next one in this is Remy.
Yeah, it's like, well, seeing that how's like his one plan didn't work out, he's going to go with all reliable and throw the bloodhound at him.
Go ahead. It is currently
Right.
engaged with audience.
Yep. Okay, that'll probably hit with a 26.
Yes, it does hit.
Yeah. Did dodge a 23, so it's not dodging a 23.
In fact, the AC is actually like a range.
It's a rage. Depending on who's attacking.
Okay. So that'll be 17 from the good boy.
Okay. The dagger hits, gets into him. You hear him. "Ah!" You get the feeling that it's partially insane.
It
Maybe.
enjoys the pain.
Well, he's going to use a bonus action to whistle the bloodhound back into his hand, and then he is going to move to. I'm gonna say. Yeah, he will move to L6 and end his turn there.
This wouldn't have changed my attack roll on that, but did you say you got to re-save on the start of your turn?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I never rolled that.
Oh, okay. Well, roll right now.
Nah, it's a 6.
It really didn't change anything.
Me and
This is
Fisher
never
are
going to
still
happen.
both
If a
quaking
15
in our
didn't
boots.
make it,
Yeah, if a 15 did make it,
I
I'm
have
like,
a minus
alright.
1 will save, so...
Well, it just means that your maximum is 19.
You're gonna be frightened for this entire fight.
All right, so the next one is our friend the creature, who attacks audience. As
I am the one there.
He is right in front of you.
Actually behind it, but you know,
Yeah, well. So
it can't see me.
his head only turns around on itself and it looks at you. God damn it. It turns around, raises both hand and slash at you twice.
I'm invisible.
You know, it's not because you're wearing a mask that you're actually invisible. So the first attack is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Christ.
It's
Audience has been
crit.
touched. Bring out the champagne.
it's near
Yeah,
his
he hasn't-
maximum.
He hasn't missed.
I told you, this one isn't an easy fight like the others.
No. What was the second?
The second one is a 21 to hit.
Well, yeah, they're both hitting. Hopefully I'm not down.
Holy shit.
All right. The first hit hits you for 15 points of slashing damage, and the second hit hits you for 14 points of slashing damage.
Alright, I'm alive because of that temp HP. Because that's 29 and I was at 31, so I'm down to 2.
Holy hell. This thing is too fucking dangerous, man. Holy
It's a
it also
nightmare.
healed all our damage that I
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
so it's gonna be interesting. Ow. Well, I'm alive.
We need to finish it before the Dracolish decides to help out his buddy.
I think the Draculash doesn't need help its buddy. Right now its buddy's telling it that it's fine. That's it's kicking our ass.
Yeah.
We're good. Keep on going. All right. The last one of the round is Tykar.
I'm gonna yell at audience as fucking loud as possible. Snap out of it, you goddamn coward. What am I looking at? You now have Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. I am inspired.
Yep. Oh boy.
Question mark?
Yeah.
No, that would probably work with audience. He'd be like, what the fuck am I doing?
You've seen bigger
Jesus
creatures.
Christ.
I don't know. I've never taken, 46 points of damage in like 2 rounds.
46? Yeah, because of the breath.
Actually, more with the +5, like 50.
Okay. Thing is. Who's next on the initiative? It's you, right?
It goes
It's
back
me.
to the top.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and hit it.
Alright. Oh, okay. In that case, I'll fly over to you for this once, and that's 50, so I have plenty to get to him. 1, 2. Yeah, I can make it. I'll fly down to G12 next to audience.
G12. Okay.
And I'm going to Cure Wounds you, level 2.
Alright.
Because I need you alive. You regain 15 HP.
Alright, I'm at 17. So 1 hit from it, still, pretty much. But
I might hit the bird instead. It might.
You can take one hit without dying. Maybe.
yeah,
Well, you can lay on hands yourself if you're scared.
I can.
So as you are right next to it and doing an action, it will take a wrathful retaliation on you. Strike you with the back of his hand, Tykar.
Me? What retaliation? The fuck did I do to him?
It's a legendary
You healed
action.
me. You healed me.
Oh, bitch. Okay.
It's okay. It doesn't have infinite of them.
I have 24
Legendary
health.
action, he has 3 per round. Legendary resistance, 3 per day.
Oh. He might have a lot of them. I don't know.
Alright, go ahead.
Sentinel.
I am a Sentinel. No, I am a Sentinel. I'm a Sentinel. Don't worry.
Well, it is an attack. Wrathful retaliation is when he hits you with the back of his hand.
Yeah, so I can Sentinel it, because it's attacking a creature within 5 feet of me.
However, it attacks you with one of his worst roll possible, nearly worst roll possible, with a 12.
That's a worst roll possible. Holy
Nearly.
fuck, he's 3 off from killing me. Yeah, I miss. He misses. He doesn't hit me. Jesus.
You
fuck.
see this strike just pass right over your head with so much force, you're worried that your head would have disconnected if he had hit
This
you.
thing's gonna murder me.
I retaliate with it, trying to hit my friend with a disadvantage. I roll with disadvantage with a 21.
21 does hit.
Alright. You know what? I'm going to Divine Smite now, because I don't know how long I'm going to be alive here, so I might as well get them out of the way while I'm up. So 5 and 4 is 9, plus 5 is 5, 4. So 9. Okay, so 9 points of radiant damage, and then plus 5 is 14. Plus that 5, so 10 more. So yeah, because it's 5. Yeah, so 10. So 14, 19. So 19 points of overall damage. 19 points, yeah. 19 points of overall damage, 9 points of radiant damage.
All right. Well, it is hit with sufficient force. You see your radiant energy just blow into him, start tearing at whatever is holding him together. It does let out a very hurt scream. And for a moment, you see it fall to one knee, but it gets up immediately after and just starts laughing again.
There's more where that's coming from. Because it's my turn next. I'm gonna
You have a feeling that injury actually managed to do something harmful to him. He is officially injured right now. However, he does let out another dreadful laugh.
Oh, I'm already feared.
Fisher and audience, you're already feared. Remy and Tykar, you can both make a wisdom saving throw. However, because you have already managed to succeed in one, you do your saving throw with advantage this time.
Okay, thanks. Fuck.
Don't do that.
Went from 6 to 17.
I'm not throwing it that hard. That'll be an 18.
You both succeed. You feel the fear trying to grip you, but again, you just shrug it off and...
It's that avian bravery.
But Tykar,
Oh.
you do have the feeling that you were just on the edge of losing it this time.
Oh god, it's a 17. Okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
now we have a
10%
plus.
chance to make this save.
I only have a
Oh,
plus one to
Jesus.
whiz, man.
Yeah, you've been rolling with it.
All
I'm
right.
a -1.
We go back to the top of the initiative with audience.
Is Bardic Inspiration a D4 or D6?
D6 at my level.
Okay. So
The
I
lowest
will
it can
now.
ever be is a D6.
So I will now roll to get out of this. Feared. Thing. Well, actually, that's just a 17 off that roll, so I don't even need to use the Bardic Inspiration. I know I pass.
Yeah, you just managed to shrug off the fear and you take back control of yourself.
It was that hit that I got in on it. It regrounded me.
You sort of realize he's not invulnerable. He has the demeanor of something injured.
Yeah. All right, and then I will hit it again because that's what I do. With a yeah, that'll hit. That's a 19 plus 7, so 26.
Go ahead. Yes, it hits.
And I will use my last Divine Smite again before it kills me. Probably on its round, so we will get in my classic Paladin burst before I go down.
Yeah!
Because I was out of burst after this anyway, so it didn't matter. Okay. Alright. Alright. I like to roll 5s on those last one. Alright, so 10 points of radiant damage, 10 points of non-radiant damage, so and 20 damage overall.
Alright. Again, your radiant attack seems to grip very hard on him, and he suffers that blow quite tremendously. However, he does use a legendary action to try and do a wrathful retaliation on you.
Okay.
And he rolls a 16 to hit you.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I dodged that one.
You'd managed to dodge it at the last moment. You see
That
that
hits me.
force just go.
Alright, and I will use... Yeah, actually, that could be the difference between dying and not dying, so I'm going to use that. So then on my Channel Divinity, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity, and each creature charged within 30 feet regains 1d6 plus 2 HP.
Okay.
So that would be me and Fisher. If it has no more... Actually, wait, Fisher, are you below half health yet?
Nope.
Okay, well then it's just me. But it still might be the difference between... since I just need to not go down. 1d6. Where the hell is my d6? It's like the one dice I'm like not seeing right now.
Yeah, just like wow. When was the last time I got to use a D6?
Yeah, no, actually though, I literally just don't have. Let's see. Let me check my dice.
Meanwhile, over here, I have to constantly roll D6s.
I'm only d8s and d20s really. Okay, there's a d6.
I mean, you get D10s for hit die.
Could be the difference. I gained 5 points. Might be the difference between going down to 2 and or dying. So.
All right.
Oh wait, no, that's 19. 24. There we go. Okay.
All right. So this is audience's turn. We go to Fisher, who is still stuck with the fear.
You got this, Fisher.
Get to save at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Let's go. Oh,
I think he passed.
that's an 18 minus 1. 17.
You managed to shrug off the fear. Seeing audience injure this creature twice in a row with blinding energy just managed to snap you out of it, and we can do this, come on.
Yeah, I'm possibly doing something. Okay, and then I'm going to try what I tried last time, but with a little more
Confidence.
steady hands, and shoot a thunderous orb at it with. Fuck me. Another nat 1.
Your hand is still shaking when you do this, and you see the orb just go.
No, fuck this. And then I will.
I would get near it while you have the chance.
Yeah, I'm
then
gonna
you
use
hear
all
from
my
ins-
movement to get to
Make the triangle.
10. That's as far around it as I can get, though. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I am going to use my bonus action to use Second Wind and get 9 HP back. And then I'm going to use Action Surge and try and just hit it with my Great Axe. I don't care if it wasn't working, but the spells really weren't working, so...
The spells have now both gone backwards.
Yep. Maybe if I turn around, we'll go the right way.
No, you just get a little encouragement from inside of you saying, remind me what's the difference between you and the small tree?
I am technically here while doing the same amount of stuff. That's a 12.
It does not hit. He managed to just dodge it.
He is a presence in this fight.
Yep. I'm here, guys.
Moral
He's
support.
physically here.
I took some damage.
Moral support.
It's okay, Dre. I've just done 72 damage to it. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
All right.
One of these days I'll get a magical weapon that can do damage to things.
It will attempt. It will attempt to do a wrathful retaliation on you, Fisher, hitting you with a natural 20.
Ah, nuts.
Five
Like
damage.
one thing, I was like, I got this. I've got 19 AC and I can
I'm
shield.
surprised,
Nope,
I'm,
it's a
I'm
crit.
surprised. I'm surprised it even noticed you to wrathful retaliation.
The axe swing came close to hitting it.
All right. Well, fortunately for you, the hit isn't all that hard. 14 points of bludgeoning damage comes your way. Make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay.
Wait, I can sentinel it because it did that. Let's go.
Yeah, you can.
I am out of divine smites though.
That is a 13.
You fail, meaning that the blow hits you with such force that you are thrown 10 feet away and are prone.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I got
I'm just
it.
gonna take a nap here, guys.
Honestly, that might be it. Yeah.
You guys
I hit
won't
it.
notice, though.
18. By the way, I hit it. Dude, this is an 18 hit it.
Yes, does 18, sorry, hold one moment. Yes, it just hits it.
Okay, so that's an AC of 18. Okay. Okay, then that's 8 plus 5, so I'll add another 13 damage to that list.
Right. So you hit it, and yeah, it just coils up and.
Oh, motherfucker.
It's okay. We're getting there. It's at least below half.
Yes, at least, yes. So we have Fisher, now we have Raimi.
Okay, so Raimi, seeing that that Fisher, but especially audience, is being abused by this large creature, he levies his dagger. It's like, it just shouts like, "Get," in a woman's voice, "Get away from him, you bitch!"
Raimi watched Aliens. Nice.
Come on, I to stop doing that.
Gotta get yourself a bigger dice.
What I actually really need is a dice tower, but I just have this little ice cream bowl.
Oh yeah, no.
That's like the
No wonder
perfect
it's
shape to
bouncing
fly
out.
the fuck out.
The thing is, I'm not putting it in that hard.
I think it's like
Just
an
being an
inch deep.
asshole. I love you, Raimi. Also, you ice cream bowl. 20.
Natural
Natural
or
20.
natural 20? Well, then you hit him.
Audience
It's
being
like
hurt is
every
a good
complaint I
inspiration.
just made about you, ignore it. Okay.
It's a lot of dice.
30.
Points of damage
30
total?
piercing. Total.
All right.
I like to imagine that dagger went straight through the head.
Well, actually, I'd say most likely. How do you want to destroy him?
Hey!
Let's go.
You know what? It's just it's exactly as I said. Dagger poised, aiming like, "Get away from him, you bitch!" Throws the dagger, and literally make it zoom right through the jack-o'-lantern's fucking head.
You see that dagger just fly off straight between the eyes, enter the pumpkin head, all the way to the hilt, touch the gem at the center of the pumpkin head, and you hear just the pumpkin go, and it explodes, shattering. Unfortunately, it explodes, meaning that audience and Tykar both make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Oh no!
Let's
Well,
go.
Although good news, Fisher wasn't involved in that.
Yep.
Alright. Is the 17 enough?
12.
It just is enough. 12,
Oh, fuck.
unfortunately, isn't. Which means, Tykar, you take... 19 points of necrotic damage.
Welcome to the fight, bud.
As it just explodes, burst
Like
out. Audience, fortunately for you, you succeeded, so you only take half that damage. You take 8 points of necrotic damage from the explosion of this pumpkin head.
I'm alive!
You see the pumpkin, his body falls to the ground, bits of charred pumpkin falling everywhere, and you see floating maybe 2 inches above the ground, the gem that was inside his head just falls and stopped there, floating, emitting a dreadful necrotic energy. Just at that moment, you hear coming from far away a horrible scream, and you see this large shadow trying to make its way toward you.
Destroy the gem! Destroy the gem, guys!
You're the one with the magic sword. Break it.
I'm hitting it!
I start railing at it if I can.
Technically, you are the next one on the list, Icar.
I shoot twice at the gem with my crossbow.
All right, make an attack.
I do wonder what the AC of a crystal
22.
is.
22, it's enough to hit it.
Lower than 22.
Alright, 8 damage. I don't know if you're counting damage. So
Yeah.
8 for the first shot. And 18, does 18 hit?
Yes, it's a
Alright.
motionless crystal.
I don't know, a fucking scarecrow would. Gangly motherfucker shouldn't be that hard to hit. And another 9.
9. So the first hit, you see the crystal crack. The second hit, you see a chip burst from it. It is still floating, but it is barely hanging on.
Someone break that bitch.
Which means we go back to the top of the initiative with audience.
Yeah,
Does audience get the kill steal?
What do you mean the kill still? I did like 7. I did like 80 fucking damage to that thing. I will swing at it with a 14.
It is enough to hit it.
Okay, good. I did not roll high. I got a little worried. Alright, I will do 13 points of damage to it.
It is enough. You hit it square on with your sword, and you see it bursts in 1,000 tiny sparkling shards. And fortunately, because the Dracolich noticed it, I rolled his initiative. He had a 22. So the moment you break it, you turn around and you see the shadow of this creature makes its way to you, but just before maybe reaching the last 50 feet, bursts into shadows, and the energy just brushes off all of you. And you find yourself hanging for a moment.
And that 20 initiative mattered. Gave me 23.
Yeah.
And this is where we end. You succeeded the challenge. There will be a reward waiting for you when you wake up. And just as you said, your natural 20 initiative made the difference in the last moment of this fight.
So the moral of the story, kids, is don't begrudge any good roll that you get.
Yeah. It could be the difference between life and death.
Yep.
You don't know how lucky you were. It rolls every round to regain its breath weapon, and the last round it regained it, but it was so high in hit points. All of your burst damage you did pushed it low so fast. It didn't have time to go back to its round. It had recharged. It was going to use its breath weapon again and regain health.
Yeah, nice 30 crit there, Remy. That was pretty solid.
You know, like, no joke. It's just like, come on, D6s. Like, 6, good. 5, excellent. 6.
Yep.
Yeah. And I got in all 3 of my honestly, being levied at 2 there was so that temp, so many things in that fight could have changed that fight. The 5 temp HP you gave me so that I lived at 2 so I could get off my other 2 divine smites. Fisher, you were there.
I did a whole 5 damage, and I let you get another sentinel attack in. So
that is true. You allowed the sentinels.
No, honestly,
Like,
never dismiss anything. If Fisher had hit him twice, when his initiative would have came, he would have most likely have lost enough hit point to try immediately his breath and regain hit points. The fact that Fisher missed him made it so that he was high enough to feel confident and not use his breath.
Big brain plays.
yeah,
Andre, that's what I like to see. Calculated.
So far ahead. You guys don't understand.
It's just like you were an adequate meat shield, and no one can take that away from you.
This man was playing 5D chess out here.
All right. Well, this was the challenge for Halloween. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm also talking to you, not just the audience.
We did. That was.
I'm
very
sure
well
audience
done.
very much enjoyed himself.
Audience did. Audience lived.
Well, it was his first actual
Close call.
hard fight.
Meanwhile, Raimi's just like sitting over there. It's just like, I'm doing stuff, guys.
Also, did all of our HP and stuff reset at the end of that because we're going back to our regular world, or is there like a effect that it carries over?
No, you're going back because when you're going to go back, audience, because you knew that Tesul was there, we're gonna do this short moment of your walk because it is during that walk that you took that you actually met him. He is in the city right now. He is actually in the city right now.
Okay.
This is why you knew, and knowing Tesul, he would have mentioned that there was something foul in the air. So we'll enact this as soon as we come back, but other than that, you all had your complete night rest, and you are going to wake up in your bed, frightened, but completely healed with all of your spells and abilities.
Okay.
And with a small gift, because you all succeeded. But I'm going to tell you what it is only the next time.
My gift is I didn't get syphilis from. I forgot his name. I was about to say Luke Bryan. What the fuck? No, Brian.
No,
What?
you literally called him David. It has to be.
Yeah, David. There we go. David Bowie. I was like, Luke Bryan. That's not right. The fuck.
Alan Smithy.
All right, so this was a brief brush with the Nightmare Shard, one of the shard orbiting the Shattered Continent. And your first actual encounter with what it means to live in the Shattered Continent, in this reality you are currently living in. I was looking for another word, but I couldn't find the exact one in English.
Inhabiting.
Yes, thank you.
I need to wash this shit off my neck.
That's all right. All right, we're gonna end it here anyway. We are a little over an hour overdue. So, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all had a lot of fun. And I hope we'll all see you again next Wednesday for the regular development of our campaign. In the meanwhile, if you enjoyed the show, we would appreciate very much if you could support it. You can follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. It's always nice to leave a like or a comment. Again, I'd like to thank those who are helping us grow. I have permanently placed their names right under the window. If you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, it is part of the description under. I've added both for Chaotic Calling and the name of the guild again, the name of the city.
Kearney.
City Guild. Sorry, I'm gonna get this right. It just usually takes me a few times pronouncing a name before I just registers. But thank you for helping us. Thank you for being there. And of course, as I mentioned during the stream, there's always one other way you can support us, by making a donation or becoming a Patreon. I am planning on adding things which are going to be only on YouTube and Patreon, so there might actually eventually be a reason to become a Patreon because of content that you're not going to have on Twitch. And of course, you can always just spread the word of our presence and our hopefully, very enjoyable campaign for you and the players. So thank you very much. Have a nice Halloween. Stay safe, and always, especially in these times right now, stay healthy. Bye.
Bye.
Danai.